Podtacular episode 369, Xbox Reveal Community Discussion for May 21st, 2013. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, to our Xbox Reveal Spectacular. I'm your host, Duststorm, for this special Podtacular episode, and I have quite the panel with me to start off things for this whole discussion. Today was quite a big day, and I think we have a lot to discuss about tonight. Hopefully we won't go too long for you guys, especially that are listening live, but for those who are here, we appreciate you guys coming. Please tweet the stream, let everyone know that we're talking about today's latest Xbox Reveal news. Joining me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Brent Gamer. Welcome, Brent.
Hey, everybody.
Following him is someone that's been on here quite a few times. He has been a big help for our Spartanoffs series that is currently being premiered on Waypoint, and he is HaloFanForLife.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Next person down the line is, I don't think we've had you officially on the show yet, but I think we will very soon. He is Ducain23 over from Ready Up Live.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, Ducain? Glad to see you. Sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt. But...
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just here. We'll just be here.
You're much more polite than the people on my podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not touching that one. Next down the line is someone that we've had on the podcast, and we are very, very close friends with. And by very close, I mean actually physically very close in terms of location-wise. But it's Goosechecka from Griffball Hub.
You don't have to add in that location-wise. You can just say we're very physically close. And Cal says hi. He's sitting right next to me waving. So.
Hi, Cal.
Hello,
Is he gonna? Yeah, he's gonna jump in every now and then. Awesome.
Probably. Apologies now.
Next down the line is someone that we've been pretty good friends with for a while now. I think ever since Podtacular got its roots back when Fumo Jive was doing the podcast. So we've been good friends with this fellow podcast. It's Gamertag Radio, and from them we have Lady Luck. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Yes, it's been a really long time. That was like, what, 2006, 2007?
Yeah, 2006, 2007. I think we actually had you on for a podcast shortly after I picked it up back in 2008. And I think that was the last time you were actually on our show. So we need to get you back on here pretty soon, I think.
I need to stop hiding in my own little corner with Gamertag Radio, I guess.
It's all right. I've gamed with you guys. You guys are a cool bunch, and especially Pete Rock when he's been drinking a little bit.
Scumbag Pete's.
Finally, to wrap up our initial panel of guests, we will be having more coming on later, but to wrap things up for now at least, is the Texorcist, also from Griffball Hub.
Howdy, everyone.
Howdy, howdy.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. So we have our initial panel, and we're going to have more people coming on as people get home from work and all that other stuff. Probably last about 2 hours or so, maybe go a little longer depending on how involved we get with our discussions. But to start things off, we've been talking a little bit here pre-show. We're hopefully going to come back around to those topics. But first impressions, are you guys very happy with what you've seen? Are you still kind of on the fence because E3 is still coming around? What's your guys' initial reactions after seeing everything that has come out from today?
100% fanboy mode?
Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm really excited.
Although I'm really happy with it. I could have gone with a better name for it. I don't really like the
It was kind of
one. You know.
Blah.
I mean, it makes sense, but you would think you would come up with a little bit more creative name.
Yeah, I get it, the all-in-one, entertainment deal, but I would have liked Infinity better, or just something else.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder when it shifts to different parts of the world, like when it goes to Spanish-speaking countries, is it the Xbox Uno? Because that's pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
You know, the Uno, the in.
So, in 2005, they couldn't call the new console the Xbox 2 because it was going up against the PlayStation 3. But this time they're going up against the PlayStation 4, so they're calling it the Xbox 1.
Have you seen the graphs on Twitter? Your value of what you're getting of 4 versus 1?
No, I have not.
Oh,
are they bad?
It's just really funny. I've seen a couple of people throwing them up about how by naming it 1 and PlayStation's at the PS4, your value is automatically skewed, and it's pretty amusing how people are looking so in depth to that.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, Fast and the Furious 4, or, Mr. Popper's Penguins 4.
They should have called it 2 Xbox, 2 Furious.
There you go.
Oh my god.
You get so far into, like, the remakes and stuff, you're like, oh, that's lame. I don't want to go see that.
Xbox Into Darkness.
That was good. Okay.
Xbox in the darkness.
You leave Chris Pine alone, all right? We're gonna get
Ooh.
Hey,
Have
was
a
it just me,
fight on the lawn.
was it just me, or did it really have kind of a throwback feeling to the original Xbox?
Yeah.
Starcraft.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't really care what it looks like, though. That doesn't bother me. I'm looking for the functionality of it. What can it do?
Yeah.
I think that's what caught me so off guard on Twitter is that people were, they're raging, big surprise, but, oh, wow, it's only this media center, you didn't even talk about games and all that other bull. That's kind of like announcing the new iPhone and spending all the time talking about how you can call people with it. I already know the Xbox can play games. I want to see what else can it do. Like, why should I get this instead of keeping my 360?
Yeah,
And
the
I thought,
E3 is
oh,
kind of
like,
for
job.
games.
Here's something that I'm like the complete other side of it, but like I don't watch TV and I don't really watch a lot of movies and I don't really use like all of the football stuff. Like I follow sports, but I'm not a fanatic. So for me, the games are really the only thing I care about. I buy it for gaming. That's what it does for me.
I'm with you there.
Even though I respect, E3 is 3 weeks away, so I'm definitely assuming that there's going to be a big showing from all of the companies there at the same time. I felt like I wasted an hour to watch about all the functions of what this device can do with very little focus on what it is. So as some people jokingly be saying, it's an entertainment device more than it's a gaming console, which tells me is maybe we should branch off into other ways, but I get that they want it all in one, and a lot of people want the functionality of entertainment with it.
Well, on that, aren't you going to be able to, like, during your matchmaking queues, be able to switch over real quick, just check the score, or, start playing some music? It showing that functionality really opens the door. Say, since you do somewhat follow sports, you'll be sitting there waiting for, Halo 5 match to start up. You'll be like, I wonder how the Texas Rangers are doing. Just switch over real quick and switch back. Yeah. I really like that feature of that.
And I think for me, the fact that they're adding in the entertainment, it doesn't take away from the gaming. Like, I can see how if you're just looking for the games, this could have felt like a waste of time. But, they said, there were 3 operating systems?
Yeah,
so I think the gaming's going to be just as good. We all know that Microsoft can make a great gaming console. So I think this release was more for the people who were on the fence about getting it, or maybe they're trying to attract a new audience, which I think is really great.
There's an issue here, though, that for those people that are looking for just a gaming console, we already have cable. We already have, all these other things, smart TV or smart phones and all that. The cost of this thing as it is, it's not been truly announced, but it's rumored to be $500. And if that's the case, that's going to hold some people back from being able to get this console. Why not have an Xbox One Lite that is purely a gaming console? More people could afford it and, get it for what they want as opposed to it having everything, all
the bells and whistles.
Yeah. Honestly, I've got all the other stuff in other forms, and for myself, and again, I understand the people that like the idea of having this function, but for myself, when I'm playing video games, I'm pretty much just playing video games. I'm not trying to multitask. I just want to play video games. So, for those people that want to multitask, it's great. But for those that, at least when they're gaming, are a little bit more singular minded, there's all these additional things that drive up the cost of, not only the console itself, but, the games are probably going to be more expensive. Xbox Live is rumored to be more expensive. So you've got all these other expenses, and for a lot of people, a lot of this extra function really doesn't have, any sense for them. It doesn't have any, there's no reason for them to have it, So I wish that they would have, like I say, an Xbox One Lite or something, some other,
They may. You never know.
I'm sorry. My bad.
That's all right.
I completely agree with you. I think that there should be just a gaming console out there. The reality, I think, what probably is this is a business decision because they're fighting for those tablet, people, and the Windows Phone. It's a complete market selling PC, trying to get all of this encompassing to really just drive up the sales of all their products. And that's probably why we haven't seen that announced yet. As terrible as that may sound, that's probably the reality of it.
And the other reality is, I mean, think of it from Microsoft's point of view. They are not, on one very big level, Microsoft is not competing with Sony at all.
No.
They don't care about Sony. They're looking at Apple and they're looking at Google. Because they're looking at the tablet, they're looking at the smartphones, and they're looking at set boxes like the Apple TV. And that's the kind of competition Microsoft is going for, to try to capture all of those things together in one device. Because their hook in the living room is the Xbox. Apple's hook in the living room is, the iPhone. And that's their top seller. And Google's hook is the whole Google experience with the Google web search. And so Microsoft has the Xbox as their hook.
Did
They're
you
trying
really
to stuff
call
everything
it
into there.
the Google?
The Google website.
The Google.
Google.
Well, I mean,
Well,
the important thing to that you just kind of touched on is Xbox is really focusing on the entire experience, not necessarily the gamers specifically anymore. And where Sony and Nintendo and Steam are really focusing on those gamer-specific platforms, Microsoft is trying to incorporate everyone under the same umbrella. And a lot of people are kind of uneasy on that because it's like, okay, Xbox started as a gaming platform, but now they're not really focused specifically on gamers anymore. Well, that's not necessarily true. They're still really interested
There's a lot of gaming stuff going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Still there.
They can still focus on the gamers, but then they also just have the extra stuff for people who don't necessarily want to buy the console for the gaming.
Well, and I think that, who was it that brought up that it's, that idea that it'd be better to have different versions because, I as a person don't want to pay extra for things I'm not going to use.
Exactly.
I understand that, unfortunately, sometimes that's going to be the case, but...
Right.
I mean, I think it brings up the interesting idea, like we're talking about cable. I mean, within our lifetime, and probably a lot sooner than that, cable is going to be gone. Like, people are dropping their cable subscriptions ridiculously fast. Like, cable companies are scrambling, and the only way they're staying afloat is by having their internet access. So, they see the future. They see that cable's going. Did something happen?
Nope.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay.
Keep
going.
Nothing's going on.
Oh God, what did I do? But no, I mean, cable is not going to stick around for. I would say in a decade, cable's going to be gone. It's going to be a la carte. It's going to be done all over the internet. And I think just like the Dreamcast, was kind of ahead of its time with its Ethernet port for broadband. Microsoft is always trying to be on that cutting edge. And I do. I sympathize for those people who don't want all the extra bells and whistles. Absolutely. I do. Because that would really suck to have to buy a $500 console just to play Halo. That's a little extreme.
Yeah, it's a little steep. Although I will admit, I was one of those people that went out and bought the Halo Reach console, the Halo 4 console.
No, we paid $400 for the 360, so I mean, $100 more for all these features. I'm on board. I don't want to spend that money, but I'm on board if I'm getting all this extra stuff to go with it.
And also,
But you're only talking that $100 for the console. Again, they've got to recoup those costs. So now you're talking probably a bump in price by $10 or $15 per game. Plus, you're talking about, who knows? Right now, Xbox Live $60. We've heard rumors of $100. Even if it's $80, still that's more money there. Plus, if you haven't taken into account for those people that like to buy used games, forget it. I posted a link here just a little bit ago, and I'll repost it again in the Twitch. But, for those people that want to get used games, you can't now. With the Xbox One, listen, here's how it works.
No, it's not that you
same
can't.
method, but let him
Here's how
finish.
it works. And this is according to the Kotaku interview. You buy a used game, sure, you can do that, but you have to buy an activation code for that to work. How much is that code going to cost? The full price of the game. So you might as well just buy the brand new game from whomever. It doesn't matter if it's GameStop or whomever, but they want to know that the developers are getting their full money as opposed to GameStop getting their cut and the developers not getting a portion of it. So that's really, you're to say that you're only paying $100 more for the console. Yeah, there's a lot of other costs that are involved there, and there's all these other peripherals that just, I'm cautiously optimistic about the Xbox One, but some of the things like that, it's not so hot, not so good.
You got to also remember, though, the advancements in the console itself. Like, I'm not trying to compare PC and console because PC destroys it in every way. But to get a pretty good gaming computer, which I know it still destroys the Xbox One, but I'm just saying how much that costs is drastically more than $500.
That is true.
And it's also important to keep in mind that the Xbox One is the exact same thing as the Xbox 360, but just 8 years later and better. I mean, the 360 has Netflix, and it has YouTube, and it has,
it doesn't have
TV
backwards
interaction
compatibility
stuff
either.
in that. So, I mean, it's not like this is something out of the blue. I mean, the 360 over the last 8 years has been evolving into more of this social platform.
If you were to remake the 360 today, you would make the Xbox One.
Yeah, it's just the same thing, but 8 years later.
The natural progression of technology.
Yeah, no, it's tough though. I feel you guys on not wanting all the extra flashy, shiny stuff. I like the extra flashy.
Nice firelight.
I'm a huge fan. I love Dance Central. I'm super stoked that it's going to be
Dance Central, yes.
better. And you can have 4 people dancing at one time, and like I'm so excited.
Maybe 6. They said they could track up to
now
6.
They can actually tell like your arms are turning.
Yeah, your joint movement. I mean, like right now the Kinect's really good. Like you can get like a hand movement. I'll lose points if my hand movement's not right in Dance Central, but this is going to be a lot more precise. And I'm super excited about being able to tell my Kinect what to do, and it will actually listen. Because right now it doesn't. It'll listen to Cal, but it won't listen to me. So
that's sexist.
It is.
With the advancements in, like, you look at the original Xbox controller, the Duke. People didn't like that. I enjoyed it because I'm 6'4" and my hands are huge, so I liked it. But, like, the advancements, it wasn't that good for people, and then the Xbox 360 controller was good, and it's the, like, next generation of it. So, of course, the, first generation of Kinect won't be nearly as good as, later on iterations of it.
Yeah, of course. But
all right, hang on. Before we go on, I need to introduce a few people that have joined in the stream.
No.
We have our panel has expanded and is going to continue to expand at an alarming rate. First off, we have someone who we've talked with about on the podcast before, but he hasn't been on the show yet. But he will make his debut soon, very soon. He is Justin Bryce over from Drunken Halo.
Hey guys, what's up?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I agree with someone else in the Skype chat. Is someone vacuuming?
Yeah, someone just muted themselves, whoever that was.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a vacuum or the sound of
sucking.
A stadium crowd in the background.
Your money being sucked away by Microsoft.
Next down the line, we have someone who's been on the show plenty of times before. He is over from YouTube from Halo 3 and probably soon to be Halo 5 tricks whenever the Halo 5 comes out, and that is CMNeir.
Hey.
Why do I have the feeling that, Chris, you're the one with the vacuum?
I am? Okay, I'll fix it.
Yeah, you are.
Yep, that was it.
Is this episode brought to us by Dyson?
I
was going to say Roomba, but...
Wait, it's a Dyson sphere? Is this
exactly.
Wow, nicely done.
Trevelyan?
Is it any better?
Yeah.
Yes, it's better.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's still there a little bit if you can knock it out somehow.
Okay.
And
I'll knock it out.
I'm gonna knock you
knock it out. Also, we have Nak3d Eli from the YouTube channel Nak3d Halo.
I am not watching his...
What's up, everybody? Yeah, you're lucky this isn't video recording.
I know, right?
Out.
Or is it?
Man nipples. Wait, what?
Or is it?
If it was, it would not be on the stream. I don't think we're rated for that kind of exposure.
Yeah, Eli, have you been getting all the messages that I tell people to send you every Friday?
The last one that you told them to send me?
I can't remember. Did it have something to do with peanut butter?
Yes. Once a week, I get like 10 messages from random strangers, and it's just like, it's peanut butter time! And I'm like, what? And this is Ducain telling his stream to troll me.
I've heard peanut butter jelly time, but not peanut butter time.
No, last week it was just peanut butter time.
Oh, okay.
Hey, speaking about peanut butter jelly time, how about some Halo time, as in Halo TV?
Yeah.
Nice segue. So yes, we have the. We're gonna go out of order here apparently, but yes, we have
There's an order.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Here's the
It's just free form. We'll hit all the
order?
topics eventually. Just it'll depend on how long it actually takes to get to them all. But yes, Halo TV. I think the one thing that all of us, at least here, are very, very excited for, being a Halo podcast and all. But it was confirmed today that for the new Xbox platform, there is going to be an exclusive premiere Halo TV series directed by Steven Spielberg, partnered up with 343 Industries.
Did they say he was going to direct it, or he was just like a producer, like the Animaniacs?
I've heard both sides. I have no idea.
Who's going to
I
go
was
with
executive producer.
He's gonna make a cameo in one episode.
He might film the pilot and then just
Space
be
Mops.
on producer.
If he
role.
produces it and it's like the Animaniacs, I'm all for it.
Mhm.
Love the Animaniacs.
Oh, Animaniacs were the shit.
Yeah.
Hello, nurse.
Nurse.
So yeah, that Halo TV thing is going to be awesome. All I gotta say is that I hope it's better than Forward Unto Dawn in the aspect of female characters actually having meaning and a role and not just being the catalyst for the male's journey. I'm throwing that out there right now. Feminist High Council has spoken. Carry on.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna let you.
But
right
you
now.
lose-
Don't say anything else. Don't do it.
Good
Don't
for
do
you,
it, bro. Just let that go.
You lose the realism. Though.
Oh,
Here it goes.
Yeah, I see that on here. I don't
Night.
I do not want this to turn into another Halo 4 spoiler cast.
The thing is are they going to have just one like main character to follow? Then is it going to be Master Chief? Is it going to be Lasky? Is it going to be Majestic? Somebody from there. I mean, if you're only going to have one main character, especially if it's Chief, well, then the whole bit about female characters being the catalyst and so on. I mean, really, everybody would be the catalyst for Chief if it's going to follow him.
I think it would be.
Right, but
My question though is they bring up a lot of reference in the prelude to it was, talking about the novels and the graphic novels and everything else, which means that there's this very diverse and extensive universe they can draw from. And the only thing they titled it was Halo. So does that mean that it has to be something related to Master Chief or one of the characters we already have established? Or is it something that can be like with the novels where you're going to have side stories of other things that have happened or that are referenced in the original games, but maybe you don't know as much about? Because there's a lot of material there.
I heard someone mention a while back the idea of like a band of brothers type of situation with a Halo TV show involving like ODST, and someone that struck me as a really good idea.
Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. Pull him in, I'll be happy.
What about like?
show? Oh, go ahead, Tex.
I was just curious, since we have Halsey back in Halo 4, what about the rest of the Spartans that were supposedly locked away? Could follow them on missions and such.
Yeah, I've been hearing that the TV show might be used as filler between Halo 4 and Halo 5, or some of that kind of that backstory, kind of the way that Forward Unto Dawn was a little bit, leading into, Chief and Lasky and stuff like that, utilizing it. Although, Mandy, I don't know your gamer tag. Is it blueamcat?
No, it's Lady
No,
Luck. Sorry.
Lady Luck.
Okay. I think you had a really good point. I would love to see a TV show based on the Halo Evolution short stories. Like, those are some of the best stories, the best pieces of Halo literature out there.
I mean, like there's just so many options that have come to light through, the regular novels and the graphic novels, taking advantage of things that you just touch on maybe briefly or in small bursts in the actual games, but that have been expanded through books and literature that could be amazing, anywhere from ODSTs to the Spartans to events from, like you said, something with, say, Ghost of Onyx, those Spartans that kind of got locked away. Or even if you want to go something a little bit further on to maybe Contact Harvest with Johnson, the beginnings of what happened or how it happened. There's just so many options that they could take advantage of that I almost feel like they might be wasting the opportunity if they simply do a filler leading in between 4 and 5.
Well, and also I don't know that there's that much. I don't think you would have the success telling the story between 4 and 5 that you would if you just made it kind of like based generally on the universe.
That rumor was completely unfounded. It was just something floating around. So
Spectacular.
So are we saying that it needs to follow a core character, not necessarily Chief, but somebody in particular?
I think to drive it a little bit more, maybe it'd be kind of if it jumped around everywhere, it'd be a little crazy.
You'd lose continuity.
Although you could run it like a comic book and just have different story arcs where
like the Clone Wars cartoon.
I mean, yeah, essentially that could work really well because it is such an expansive universe. There's so much to cover, and when you find a fan favorite, you bring that back at a later time.
What was that short story in Halo Evolutions where it was the wounded Marine basically telling a story to the younger Marine?
That was an ODST.
That was what the Helljumper series tried to tell, right? It was Dirt from Evolutions.
Yeah. Dirt, there we go. That's the one. Like, I would love to see that made into like a live action.
It was.
Episode.
That was good.
Helljumper for a few episodes, and then I don't know what happened to him.
No idea what they're talking about.
Just YouTube it. Halo Helljumper.
I threw this idea out earlier today, not right before, but like 10 minutes before they announced the Halo TV series. I would really like to see a TV series, and this could be really done well with the Spartan Ops, where they incorporate the decisions that people make during playing an episode, and then you see kind of like results of that in the next TV episode. So it incorporates the gameplay and the decisions of the majority of the gaming community into a TV show. You see the fruits of your decisions as a community.
Kind of like Defiance. I don't know if y'all seen that TV show.
I was gonna say Defiance or
huge Defiance fan.
On a gaming scale, didn't they do that with The Walking Dead?
I was just about to mention The Walking Dead and choosing who lives and who dies, and you get to compare that to the rest of the people who played the game, but then actually having that steer the course of the series.
Yeah, because I was later, I wasn't through the original first few episodes, but my understanding is that based on how people made decisions and the overall community choices through episode 1 in The Walking Dead, then through the next one, that affected how they chose to, move the direction of the story. Because, okay, well, these are how people are going to react to that. Then why don't we do this and see what they do now,
Yeah. That would be really cool to have interaction.
The thing about that is that, we all know that TV shows are produced months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were going to do something like that, they'd end up having to film, so many other contingent pathways, for just one episode based on how we might play in the future, previous to the air date of the episode. So that would be probably a little too much.
Well, you know what they need? They need to hire a psychologist to help them determine what people want.
What are people going to do?
Out there?
I wonder who that could be.
I don't know. I don't know who might have a degree in...
I know somebody.
Really, sweetie? Just saying. If anybody...
My wife?
Well, we all know it's just going to be a Griffball live-action series, right? So we all say it's going to be great. Yeah, exactly. It'll be smashing good.
Yeah. I think Mandy's onto something where it's going to be something similar along the lines of kind of having the book narratives kind of fill in some of the gaps between the stories and really add to the universe. And I put this out on Twitter earlier today, and I'm wondering if it might be something close to like a Spartan Ops, or what a Spartan Ops Season 2 would be. Kind of a continuation of that story through this series, and possibly with how the media, with what you can do with a TV series media, basically branch that out and then incorporate other things back into Halo. Like, what happened to the rest of John's squad? We know that they're still out there. We saw Halsey get pulled back into the Halo story, so we know those other Spartan 2s are out there, so maybe we can branch out into those stories a little bit.
I think as long as they stay away from that, Forerunner, precursor, baloney.
Yeah.
Be good. I'm in denial.
I would love to see more on the Forerunners and Precursors. What do you have against that whole part of the Halo universe?
It's bull.
She's racist.
Have you read through Silentium?
How about having a prequel where we finally get to see the insurrectionists?
I mean, my issue with the Greg Bear trilogy is, one, it's very sexist, and two, it takes it from being science fiction to science fantasy. It goes from something that's based in reality to something that's so fantastical, it's not even realistic to me anymore. So it just stretched the rubber band a little bit too far for my ability to suspend disbelief.
I mean, the Didact has the Force in Halo 4. Was that science fiction or science fantasy?
What, the Force?
Fantasy. Definitely fantasy.
Science fact.
Right. I wouldn't argue that Halo is all purely based on reality.
Well, I'm not arguing that, but I mean, like reading Ghosts of Onyx, they have weapons that are not that different from what we've got now, and space travel and things like that. But de-evolving a species, come on! Spoiler. Delete.
Oops.
Or
well, I get what she's saying. Like, there's some basis where you can believe it. Even though they talk about like Slipstream, if you read through the books, they try to explain it to you.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where you're like, that could almost actually happen. Like, if we could figure out a way to translate this into real world physics, it could exist. And that's the basis of a lot of things within the Halo universe, is that, the weapons are something that we can kind of relate to, the locations, the idea of, traveling through the solar systems and being able to, potentially run into another sentient life form. All of those things have some basis for reality.
Yeah.
But when you go a bit farther than that, while it's still possible, you lose that connection where you can truthfully in your mind say, this could totally happen tomorrow.
Yeah, in 300, 400 years, I could totally see this happening. And
I'm right there with you. Like, I agree with a lot of those points, and I'm definitely the kind of person that when I watch like a science-y type of movie, I'm like, that's not possible. That's absurd. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Like, that would never happen. I don't care which world of physics you live in. But at the same time, the Halo rings kill all sentient beings in the life for 25,000 light years, but don't touch smaller beings and like structures. Like, that to me also doesn't really make sense with reality. So I don't know. I'm not trying to argue, that we should purely base everything on realism or non-realism, but I do think that the Didact being the main enemy of the Halo Reclaimer trilogy means that it would be fascinating to have more backstory on him, whether it's from what we read in Silentium up until, what happened like when the Didact was released, or some sort of side story, maybe exploring what the Terminals had, because I think a lot of people were fans of those Terminal stories.
I think what gets me the most is that Halo 2 and Halo 3 had such a good story that it was the Forerunner's own hubris that brought them to an end. Their own arrogance is what killed them. And I love that story. I think that's so moving and so powerful. But when you introduce the precursors and the whatever you want to call them, it takes that away from me. It takes away this entire universe that I'd constructed around this game. And even the Terminals fed into it. Everything seemed to make sense, and it was tight and it fit. And now I feel like that's kind of been obliterated.
I liked it that when the Force had created the Flood. I liked it before the Flood ended up being from outside the galaxy. I liked it when I liked the Flood. I liked it better when the Flood was a biological weapon that the Forerunners themselves created that got out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason it wouldn't be a good idea to put the Forerunners in there is because they're not, the classic Halo enemy, like
that's true.
Whenever people think of Halo, they think of humans with guns and Covenant with space weapons.
Yeah, if there's no space mob, I'm boycotting.
Yeah, so I think if they
the
put in the
mob.
Prometheans, do what?
Oh, Prometheans, thank you. That was the word I kept not being able to think of. Was Prometheans. But
yeah, they're not Halo in the way the Covenant or even the Flood are, really.
So we have to look at it this way. 343 is kind of building onto the story of Halo as they see it. And there are certain aspects where, with them being a new studio and them trying to add their own stuff into it, they might not have the storytelling aspect of the Halo franchise down pat yet. And I think that may be one of the kind of artifacts that we're seeing with this new enemies type, the Prometheans coming in, and the Didact not being necessarily well explained throughout the books or the campaign story. And the Greg Bear novels are written more like a fantasy novel than they are actual like science-y type like Karen Travis's novels are. And I think that's kind of one of the things that is throwing a lot of people off, is that there's that disconnect there.
Well, they're just so hard to get through, man. Those Greg Bear novels, like, I'm an audiobook guy. Like, I can barely read on a kindergarten level. So I listen to audiobooks, and I'll tell you,
his writing style is really weird.
Oh, it's
really
so
different.
hard to get into. You have to pay, at least for me, the first book, I'm blanking on the name. But like I had to, yes, thank you. I had to pay attention to like every single word and like not let my mind drift at all. Because
I was exactly the same way.
Yeah, and they're just so hard to get through. And so I think that like having books like that written in that type of, that style, or however you want to put it, having those books explaining so much of the Forerunner side of things, I think that's probably why everyone was so kind of confused about the didact, or like, who the is this guy? I'm sorry. I didn't know you were supposed to. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I can bleep it post.
Cool.
Keith
So yeah,
poop, y'all. Poop.
Before you go any further, before you move on, we have 2 new people in here, also from Radio Up Live. We have blueamcat. Welcome.
Yay!
Hey, thanks.
Yep. Sorry for getting you in here a little late. We get to talking and we like to keep going.
No worries.
Also, we have Drax.
What's up, guys?
Drax, what's up?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Barely hear you, Drax.
Yeah, you're a little quiet.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
Okay, my mic was down.
And apparently Chewy hates you for you being on the stream.
Chewy hates me no matter what I do, so it's okay.
All right. Justin, continue where you were going.
Oh, I think I was done, and I don't remember even what I was saying.
You were talking about
Well
Cryptum.
done. You think like I do.
I don't think. No, I don't
Okay,
even know
how
what I
about,
was
okay, so you were saying like the flow of the Greg Bear
Oh.
is very slow or
Yeah.
plotting and
It's unfortunate that those were the books that explained a lot of the backstory for this new trilogy, and I don't remember where I was going with that. But that's
hang on. Brent, say what you just typed in the chat on stream, please.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking in the chat about how the military sci-fi aspect of Halo, I think, is really popular. I think that's kind of what pulled people into the Halo universe with the first 3 games. And that kind of shift into the Forerunner stuff really threw people off. The Forerunner stuff, you can't really relate to the Forerunners. First of all, because they're an alien species, but also that civilization is so completely kind of foreign to anything we have here. And the UNSC, you can kind of really relate to those personalities and that kind of style of that military atmosphere, I guess, that kind of military culture. Personally, I really enjoyed Forward Unto Dawn because I can relate to those characters. They're human.
Right.
But I really just I couldn't get interested in the Greg Bear books. Like, I tried and I just couldn't do it.
What about the Kilo 5 books? Are you enjoying those at all?
I haven't started reading them yet, but I'm
Last
sure I
Lance
would
and the
enjoy
Third
them.
Strike.
I enjoy the
a lot
Kilo
more
5
than,
books.
than the Forerunner stuff.
I thoroughly enjoy those. If you want to get away from the Forerunner kind of stuff, there's a little bit of it in there, but nowhere near what Greg Bear's books are. But yeah, there's a lot more to deal with. Well, you hear about Sarah Osman. There's a couple of ODSTs in there. We have a good Spartan in there. And then, well, there is some Covenant stuff in there, but it's, you throw that all together. That's more of the classic Halo that most of us know and enjoyed and what brought us into it. So I highly suggest you reading those, and everybody.
Y'all are talking about the Karen Travis ones, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Just making sure.
So
yeah, those are awesome.
Those are fantastic.
Am I the only one that likes the Greg Bear novels in here?
Well,
they're interesting, but they're a different narrative completely to what Halo's been in the past. I think that's what the majority of people are saying in here. It's just the writing style is so different, and the way that they try to introduce the Forerunner race into the mythos that is Halo just really goes against the grain of what people knew and love Halo to be throughout Halo 1 through Halo Reach.
You know what I think part of it is I think a lot of people, and I'm certainly in this camp, feel that the Forerunners just should have remained mostly a mystery as they were.
Yes.
Like an obscure, they're there, but you never know anything about them.
Maybe we get some of their technology, that's fine, but did we really need to know their culture and why they did what they did and all that? They're dead and gone as far as we know. Although, well, who knows? But, it would have been nice to move forward, maybe away from the Forerunners and go to something else. So,
but here's the question, though: is you have the Didact and an entire Forerunner species, sort of, that you're fighting in Halo 4. Don't you think fans, especially hardcore fans, would want to know some background on their main enemy, right? And how do you explore the Didact and who he is as a character as a nemesis if you can't even understand his society, his background, his loves, where he comes from, what he stands for. I think that was necessary if they were going to move into a Forerunner type trilogy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what we were saying, or at least what I was saying, was like I totally agree with what you said, and it sucks that the books that we have to get all that backstory are written in such a different way that it's hard to get into.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, just to add, go on. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I totally agree with what said. Like, if you want to understand the didact, you need to know all this Forerunner backstory. But I guess my thought is it shouldn't have gone that route. Like, there are other places the story could have gone.
It should be that if you play Halo 4, if the enemy there's this new ancient alien race called the Forerunners that we've alluded to in the past, but they're the big enemy this time. You shouldn't have to have all of that extra detail to understand their motivations. I never read a single Halo book, ever, but I understood the Prophet of Truth's motivations. I understood how the Covenant operated and what they were about.
Right. And 343 has publicly stated that they did make that mistake, that it was a little too insular, that you couldn't understand the game's connective tissue at a basic level without exploring some of the terminals and outside media, which I think is a problem. I think they're going to fix that in Halo 5. But to answer the question of what would we do in Halo 4 through 6 if not fight the Forerunners? Because we've already dissolved the Covenant. They're broken up into a bunch of political pieces, as if you've read the Karen Travis novels, you know what's going on there with the Arbiter, with Jul and Dama, etc. So how could they up the stakes given a fragmented species and with us having the Infinity built? Like, we're an unstoppable force. Yeah, precursors are Forerunners, right? Like, you have to go back in time.
I mean,
I
mean that's kind of
destroyed. They could have brought them back, as maybe they left the galaxy, maybe there was some still living and they left the galaxy, and they came back, or you just introduce a completely new race, something that hasn't been seen ever yet.
Yeah, because if they can introduce something in theory with the Covenant, like here's something we've never run into before and this is your new enemy, couldn't they theoretically do that again?
It's true, theoretically. Or I think what they thought was that you know how 343, Frankie has many times said that he wanted to tie all of the extra lore together and bring everything, make it more cohesive, and not just have like stories of random Spartans fighting off in random places.
You can't just throw that all into one game, though.
Yes,
right, but I think that's what he tried to do with the Forerunners, is take this civilization that was a mystery that everyone wanted to explore and wanted to know more, or not everyone, but a lot of people wanted to know more about, and they actually did that. They actually delivered on what we were demanding as an audience. Who are the Forerunners? What did they do? How did the Halo rings come to be? Why are they so powerful? Where did all this technology come from, etc.? I think that's what this trilogy is going to explore.
Well, my thing with it is, and I'm going to kind of take this left field a little bit, is that I understand definitely that this is a gaming-based franchise and universe. That's kind of where it began and where its roots are. But the fact that you can expand into things like novels and literature and other media options means that you don't necessarily have to explain everything through the original medium, such as the games. And to use another similar but not the same kind of universe is Star Wars. That's something where there are games that they definitely explain a lot, but they expand into things like movies and books and a variety of other mediums. So I definitely agree that it's great to see them try to explain things, but at the same time, part of the lore of a good story is that you don't know everything at the end, because you still want to be left wanting. You still want to have that balance of, I know more, and maybe this particular story is concluded for me, but I don't know everything. So there's still that hint and that hope for the future to learn more.
Yeah, I mean, the unknown is what sparks human curiosity. I mean, I think about, what was that M. Night Shyamalan, The Village? Like, that was a really good movie until you actually saw the creature, then that was like this huge letdown. But if they didn't show the creature, people would be
that was crazy.
Show the creature. But that's the thing, is that once your curiosity is satisfied, you're no longer interested. Like, you gotta keep dangling that carrot. You gotta keep enticing people and encouraging their curiosity as a motivator to continue to explore this world. And when you give the answers, I feel like it kind of kills that inner drive, that inner desire.
What happens with M. Night Shyamalan's movies?
Sometimes should they go with the Xbox One with this? Should they continue the story in the games for the Forerunners, or should they put that into the Halo TV show?
I don't know. I mean, I personally would love to see what the Arbiter is doing. Like, I loved Glasslands. I wanted to spend more time with, like, the Arbiter, figuring out these political tensions.
You know what? Screw continuity. What they really have to do is just remake The Odd Couple with the Arbiter and Master Chief.
Oh, God.
RB and Chief.
I'd buy that.
Halo 5.
I would buy that.
I'd subscribe.
Wait, which one is Oscar?
Which one's Oscar?
I would think the Arbiter's the neat one, and then again, maybe I'm just thinking of RB and the Chief. If Master Chief's the Slav one.
Yeah, I mean, like, I still remember the end of Halo 3 bawling my eyes out because I thought Chief was dead. You know, Arbiter going, "War, it's so easy," and getting into his ship. And, you know, I'm really curious about his journey and, you know, what it is like. I mean, yeah, the Covenant is broken, but to me that makes it even more dangerous. And I think that really comes across in books like Glassland. So
you
I'm not
get choked up on Halo 4?
You got to read the Thursday
Cortana?
War.
Yeah,
you got to read the Thursday War. Trust me.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that one yet, so I'll have to.
Oh, yes.
Thursday War was better than Glasslands, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely was.
I'm a little more than halfway through it right now, and I have to say it's turning out really, really nicely.
You know what, Dustin? That last 100 pages that you haven't got to yet, then, if you already like it, you're going to be blown away in the last 100 pages.
Ooh. Stop whetting my appetite.
We're going to have to stop this early. I mean,
Somebody needs to go finish.
We'll come back in a week, and we'll pick up where we left off.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that the universe is so rich and so open and so wide that it, you know, I don't want to say it's disappointing to see them go the way they did because I don't think they could really ever disappoint me. There's one way they could, but for the most part, they really can't disappoint me. There's just things that I preferred. And again, I feel like an old person, you know, back in my day, we frocked a fly. We did it when we rocked and Sarah walking uphill all the way. And the only way they could disappoint me is if they make Cortana flesh and she and Chief hook up, because that would be like the worst thing.
That would be weird.
Calling it Cortana's final boss.
Wait, how about flip it around the other way and Master Chief becomes digital then, and they hook up digital?
Let's
get digital. I'm gonna just halt that conversation right there and move on a little bit.
I think Futurama did that.
We do have another cohort among us to talk about today's Xbox review. I know we are growing like crazy.
Like the flow.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't do that just then. We have Kete from the Running Riot.
Ah, Kete.
Oh, what?
Snap.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I know you.
Hello. That sexy man.
I'm buying one.
You're buying a sexy man?
No.
Wait, what are you buying?
I mean, because it's okay
the
if you
Xbox
are.
Neo.
Oh, the Xbox.
I think it's pronounced Uno.
Uno. I have the Spanish version.
They're going to sell it in Mexico.
Xbox One.
The Xbox Uno, and you can only play Uno the card game on it.
The Xbox One? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. The Xbox One. Oh, goodness. All right.
So the Xbox Ein and...
Yep.
Is that it, really?
Yeah.
The Xbox Un in French?
Ein.
In French, it'd be And in Russian, it'd be Adin. And in Korean, it'd be Hana.
Now you're just showing off.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
She Googled that. She used the Google.
Nope.
Okay. But Xbox One requires daily internet connection and blood sacrifices.
Yeah.
You saw that too.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're pretty much wrapped up on the whole Halo TV series thing. We may drop back into it for those that came in later on, but we've pretty much exhausted that. Want to kind of focus on the Xbox One reveal now, the actual console. There were some other games, but we'll get to those a little bit later. Let's talk about specifics for the console. So, just taking a first look at it, let's just talk about the appearance first. There's quite a bit of that's not the one I'm looking for. There we go. That's the scene I wanted. So there's quite a bit of brick to this. It's no longer elegant design. Well, it's kind of elegant. There are some nice corners and everything, but it's basically like a brick. It almost looks like a cable top box now with how
it's kind of bulky.
Yeah, with how bulky it is, and the Kinect is the same way. Yeah, it looks like a set-top box.
Yeah, I think that's the point of it.
I'm really okay with it. It's fine.
Yeah. To me, I don't really care.
Can you stand it up on its side?
No,
I'm assuming you can.
Probably not because of the integrated Kinect sensor.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not integrated, is it? The Kinect sensor
is separate.
Is separate.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
separate.
Yeah,
I take that back.
I mean, it's got a lot of clean planes, clean panels, clean lines. It's very much reflective of the Xbox Live dashboard. You know, they got away from this little wavy thing they did. I don't really get that. You know, it's just more streamlined. And I'm fine with, it's an Xbox. Why are we, it's a box. It has a box.
It's a box problem solved. Mostly you're going to look at it anyways. You're going to put a game in, install it, and you're done.
Exactly.
I'm totally singing, put my disc in a box.
It's
a disc in a box.
Has that been
Halo
done yet?
5.
Oh, God.
One other thing that I kind of like with it is that the vents on the top is like half of it, so it'll help with the cooling.
Sure, so all the dust can get in there and damage it.
Well, would you rather have that or it go red ring within the first week?
Fire.
Ooh.
Because the fans can't handle it.
It'll be good.
So don't buy the first ones. Wait till the next one.
Yeah, I think
Well, it's with anything. Anything has large, like vent spots, like any PC and stuff that you just gotta clean it out. So.
I do have to say the controller looks really nice.
Compressed air.
It's still that classic controller, but the grips on the toggles look like they're grippier, more traction.
It's a little beefier to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who said it, but I love the Duke too. And I'm not 6'4". I'm only 5'9", and I have girl hands. You know, I just help that. But I love the Duke.
It's grippier and beefier.
Yeah,
grippier and beefier.
I wonder how the D-pad
She loves the Duke.
Those are official terms by Microsoft and are represented by Xbox One.
Yes.
Now, more grippier.
And beefier.
Important.
That's going to be the slogan when it comes out.
Even more
beefy.
Call this episode grippier and beefier.
grippier and beefier. I like it.
Grippier and beefier.
It's just simple, and I'm okay with that. I don't need flash. It's what's inside that counts, right?
Oh.
That's what ugly people say to themselves.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to.
This is
Oh, man.
It's from Liar Liar. Can't claim it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Nak3d Eli who said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was Eli. The design looks nice and clean and sleek, and we've definitely seen with how the guys developed and with everything with Windows 8, the whole tile system, so it's no longer this sleek kind of curvy edge thing. It's just this sharp, nice corners, very sleek design. I was a little surprised with the Kinect design and just how they have that bay of microphones on the front. Just that whole bottom bar. It was a little odd at the beginning. Just seeing, because at first I thought it was like some kind of speakers, but I'm like, wait, it's the Kinect. So that microphone array is just gigantic on the Kinect.
Is that what that was?
I believe that's what it is. It's the microphone array. That thing on the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I just noticed that. Yeah, you're right.
I can hear you 50 miles away.
Well, maybe next time when they, make a, a Skyrim, the next Elder Scrolls game, and you can yell in the dragon language, maybe it will actually throw fire when I ask it to throw fire instead of auto-saving after I just died. I really appreciate that.
Okay, so if this Kinect is all built in, here's a question then. And I'm really thinking a little outside of the box, no pun intended.
Box.
But with like Halo 5, if they make that Kinect enabled, like you have to have Kinect since it's going to be there anyways.
I don't think there's going to be have to have Kinect.
They said that, or the last report I saw said it Kinect comes with all the systems, and it has to be connected to the Xbox for everything to operate properly.
Sal, you're echoing.
How am I echoing? I didn't say anything. Anyways.
We're echoing through your computer.
Whoever's listening on desktop speakers.
Yeah, that's Sal.
That would be me. Sorry, I can't do much about that. So let me get my idea real quick, though. Real quick. So since we have the Kinect already, and it's got this added functionality of all the different joints, can we maybe now get a Halo 5, have Halo 5 where we're using Kinect, where, we're playing as if we're the Spartans and we're running around, we're shooting the guns or whatever. Or if we can't have all that, how about at least for those of us that want to do some really cool machinima, that it can use the Kinect sensor for that. And now they can, I can be a Spartan within theater and I can lower my weapon and I can move my head and talk to somebody. That's something, cool. Man, if you did that for Halo, okay, I'm totally in, man. I am all in. $500 for the console, totally worth it then.
Shut up.
So you're saying dancing Spartans now.
Today on Twitter that it's going to be Griffball. You're going to be able to play Griffball like you play Dance Central. You're going to jog in place, and your hammer, and grab your sword, and punch out, and sit stiff arms.
That would be a workout. Oh man.
I would be in such good shape. Oh my gosh.
I'm saying.
The gym.
And then you gotta hold weights to make it realistic.
As long as
get a pool noodle and smack. Yeah.
I need a bucket.
I don't know if you remember in the presentation that or the announcement or whatever, they were talking about how the Kinect was the glue or something that holds everything together. So like I heard about that. Yeah, I can tell who picks up the controller, and if I pick up the controller, it'll know. Like I think they used the phrase "my last game save," which was just one of several moments that made me kind of think, you know what? I don't think anybody up here on the stage ever really plays video games, but I can pick up. God, yeah, it was pretty funny. But it's. I think the integration that is there with this new one, the integration isn't so much physical as it is like software wise. Like the Kinect will be doing probably a little bit too much. I think they'll probably be relying on it a bit too much. And also, I was trying to notice in the video, and I didn't, and maybe some of you other guys have found some info on it somewhere out there, but what is, like, they updated the Kinect hardware. Have they made it easier to use in like a smaller room?
That's
Yes.
they had to have. In order for if it have to be Kinect for everybody, they had to make that thing.
Well, they better. I mean,
space. Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to notice how far away that the douche was who it really looked to me like he was faking all the Kinect stuff whenever he was giving the demo.
Presentations are always scripted and always, preset. They have to time it and all that crap. So
yeah,
that's not a presentation. But
that's just the way they are. They
preview.
So in the recap, and they kind of hinted at this in the regular or the original reveal show when they did it, but they did touch on the fact that with the wider range and the higher resolution of the camera, that you will be able to be further away or closer to the Kinect sensor, and you'll still be able to be picked up.
Yeah.
Did they say by how much?
They said that the field of view has been increased all around by 60%, and that the camera is true 1080p HD detection. So that's where you can get the extra resolution to see where your arms are being rotated, to actually get the individual fingers detected
on your face.
Oh, that's great. So when somebody wants to Skype me, they're going to see my big ass there in high resolution.
Can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I already have a 720p webcam for my Skype set up on my desktop, so.
Yeah, and never use it.
Yeah, he does.
When I was just going to say, talking about the Skype thing, it would be good for, like, if you want to stream. Like, I know every Friday we do our little podcast deal, but, we are going on Skype, and then we're also playing games at the same time. So I wonder if you can hide the Skype little snap feature on there, so you could still show the game, so you could just record the gameplay for people to, watch in the stream. But then you could still talk in Skype through the Xbox, so it saves your PC, some problems while you're trying to stream.
I hope you'll be able to play a game and do those other services.
I think they said you can. I think they have when they were talking about it in the recap, that you actually have the apps are their own separate plane of or whatever in the Xbox, and then you can snap to the other thing and play your game at the same time. So they're both running at the same time in the background.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And but why would they have separate voice chat like in a game for like matchmaking or whatever, and also have such deep Skype integration? Because Microsoft bought Skype a while back. Like
Skype's probably the voice codec.
Maybe it'll be.
Well, I was just saying, I think it makes a lot of sense if Skype is how you communicate, voice wise on the new Xbox.
On the whole,
because then
Xbox.
that would like
But
totally
you're
let
using your
you.
gamer tag to play and talk. You're not using your
Well,
Skype name.
You can
But-
use Skype.
but-
You can use Skype separately as just your regular Skype account, not associated with your Xbox Live account.
Well, I
unless
mean,
you merge them.
Have a Skype
My-
account
yeah.
linked with your gamer tag.
It's like-
Yeah, exactly. A way to, because I know there's been tons of times where I'll look on the Smart Glass app on my phone and notice that somebody's on, and I need to tell them something really quick, and I'd love just to be able to like pop in their party using Skype and tell them something real quick and then get out, but I have to settle for sending them an actual text message, and I mean,
Well-
what is this, the Dark Ages?
Well, you can send him a Skype message on the computer now, and he should receive it on the Xbox One.
I'm just.
What I want is that I want to be able to listen to my Xbox Live messages from my Skype app on my phone, because
Yeah.
I just log in to listen to one 20-second message that's actually blank because the person forgot to turn their mic on.
Yeah.
Or
I'm really
the-
bad about that.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So that would be really nice. But I think the thing I'm most excited for with Skype is doing our podcast. Because on the Hub we have our podcast, and we record through Skype, and then we broadcast over Twitch.
Kind of what's happening right here.
Yeah, kind of like what.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder.
Wait, we have a podcast?
I've never used Skype for a podcast.
Exactly. I mean, I would love for that just to be all done on the
On
Xbox. It would be
so
so.
it
That
saves your
sounds like
computer.
a strong possibility of that.
Look,
I-
it's
I-
going to be amazing if we can commentate Wednesday Night Griff Brawls just through the Xbox. They don't have to have PC, don't have to have any of that. And I think Microsoft knows that and sees the popularity of Twitch and commentating. I think they are taking that into consideration probably.
Did they announce any streaming service on the Xbox today?
There's like a DVR.
They didn't say anything about
I'm
streaming.
pretty sure
specific yet.
PS4 has what do they have? They got something.
Was
Ustream.
They got
You'll be able
Ustream.
to see clips of your games. And
Twitch said that Microsoft would be announcing something after the big reveal more about their Twitch app, because right now you can only watch streams on the
Right.
Twitch app.
The Twitch
But I
app
think you'll be able to stream on the Xbox One with the Twitch app. That's
It
gotta be.
seems like it would-
That's
it
gotta
seems
be
like it would
some
be.
kind of integration there with that.
I've got a question then regarding all this, if I can interrupt here. How is that going to affect Halo? Because we have theater for Halo. So does that mean then that Halo is no longer going to have its theater function? That would suck.
No,
because
no,
See,
because
that's different because you have your system integration and then you have your game integration.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
would
but-
think that there's, especially if they continue on with all of the elements they've kind of developed for Halo and the community, that it would be a better idea to maintain it. And then if somebody wants to additionally make use of what's integrated with the system, they're more than welcome to. But it's probably in terms of not alienating.
I don't know that they deleted a lot of stuff though for Halo 4 as well. I could see them saying, you know what, we already have this in the console itself. Let's concentrate on other things. I mean, they did not give us theater for campaign and Spartan Ops when, that's something that personally for me, I would have loved to have had.
Well, think about it at this
Didn't they
angle.
say that they were going to have theater mode for campaign?
No, they've already said no.
They're not going to cut out theater
Not
mode.
for Halo
but nothing
4.
else. Rooster Teeth would be out of a job.
I would be out of a job.
Well, to be fair, they were doing red versus blue way before they introduced theater. But I think, the difference is going to be obviously, that's going to come down to the little details, each developer puts into their game. And I think that seeing how 343 pays attention to those small details, especially when, developments like the built-in recording of your gameplay. It'll be interesting to see if they kind of figure out that there's a large enough difference between basically having a clip from just your point of view and that's it, compared to being able to see the game from different people's points of view.
Yeah,
Well,
I think that's one thing the theater mode has over everyone else too. Is the fact that you can take away the HUD too.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want to have a first-person view or something, or an overview without your HUD on the screen to do machinima videos, then is the Xbox One going to have that capability, or is that something that's exclusive to Halo games?
Well, the other thing
it
about
would be
theater,
great if that was implemented system-wide, right? That would be Oh, God damn it! I did it again. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I feel like we need a jar or something for you.
Yeah.
That's a I will fund your podcast for 10 years if we put out a swear jar. Yeah.
I'll challenge you.
So, speaking of all this really cool stuff, Griffball, one of the things that we're most excited about is the very cool Wired article that talks about dedicated servers.
Yeah.
300,000.
I don't know if anybody else cares about that. I know Tex and Cal are very excited about that.
Yeah, now it's 15,000.
15,000.
Dedicated servers for every multiplayer game, rather than having a notoriously fragile practice of hosting matches on specific consoles.
That is
5 for all.
When that one guy said no lag, I was like, yeah, right. But then when they said 300,000 servers,
it's like, yeah, okay.
Like, okay, you just back that up, boss.
That's a massive deployment, though, but that's going to drive up cost.
Yeah, I'm okay with it, though.
Shut up and take my money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get rid of Boost and Griffball. Yeah, you can have my money.
Take it. Done.
Oh, I know, Dustin.
Yeah.
I saw you tweeted. Where did you read about Xbox One supporting 4K?
So that was during their recap. The hardware engineer said that not the hardware engineer, the silicon expert said that the outputs to 4K. Outputs up to 4K.
I may have to call bullshit on that.
4K up to 4K 3D 7.1 surround sound.
4K like hardware costs thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that's not the Xbox isn't.
Is the Xbox One going to cost like $5,000? I mean, it would be really hard to beat. Maybe it has the capability of like outputting like a video or something like that of that, but not a game running at 4K.
They just got 1080 to be like ubiquitous, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ubiquitous?
Hey, none of those call words, please.
Ubiquitous?
All right, we have someone leaving. Say bye to Mandy. She's gone now.
Bye.
Lady Luck from Gamer Tag Radio. So.
There went the little bloop.
Bloop bloop.
Yeah, I don't know about that 4K.
Well, that's what they said.
Games aren't going to run at 4K. That would be insane.
It takes a lot of processing power to even play a video in 4K.
Yeah,
I don't think
it sounded like the graphics
to that yet.
It sounded like the graphics processor that they're putting into that is beefy as heck.
Beefy.
Beefcake. Beefcake.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, if we're gonna run Internet Explorer,
we should play a drinking game. That's just whenever we say beefy, we take a shot.
Beefy and grippy.
Beefy.
Grippy.
Grippier and beefier.
Grippier and beefier.
Those two.
You got to call the podcast grippier and beefier.
Grippier and beefier. Write it down.
CBPO. That's what my kid calls C3PO. CBPO.
Okay.
The games that we saw, I didn't actually get to watch the stream. I had to read Polygon's like step-by-step update. So I'm really curious to hear what you guys thought.
Before we get to the games, I want to cover the rest of the hardware stuff first.
Killjoy.
Sorry.
Killjoy.
Since we were talking about it already, I want to go ahead and try to knock it out.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, so it does support Blu-ray.
I can play PS3 games on?
Haha, you're funny.
Why would you want to, huh? HD is dead, yo.
Because I can.
Yeah, I just pulled up an article talking about how we're going to have ultra high def TVs expected to become as common as HD TVs today. So the Xbox One can run 4K for things like Blu-ray at launch, but there's no hardware restrictions for supporting 2K or 4K gaming if content is produced at those resolutions. So it's kind of cool.
Yep.
Okay.
But it still uses HDMI, and I thought I heard somewhere a while back that they're in the process of revving the HDMI connector. So
well, you have to have 1.4, right, for 4K or 2K, whatever.
I don't know about any of that. I just know that they're in later on in the process of ratifying or whatever the new HDMI connector that's obviously supposed to be smaller and
right
all that.
Gotcha.
Did you know that Xbox or Microsoft created a new studio called Xbox Next that's focusing on interactive TV?
Interactive TV?
Yeah, they have 150 people to, quote, pioneer the future of interactive TV, including the Halo TV series.
That sounds like their stupid, douchey synergy type of speak. That sounds like something that would have come off that stage earlier today.
So Microsoft's going to have
Kelly
their
just
YouTube
left
channel.
too, so say goodbye to Goose and Cal. Bye.
Bye, Goose and Cal. And only one grandfather remains.
and one girl.
Hey.
What?
Dude, what?
Just saying.
What?
So as far as the HDMI standard goes, I mean, I believe it already supports, the current standard supports 4K.
But the TVs.
Yeah, the TVs aren't quite there yet.
And
They're
I was
definitely
just thinking
big enough.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking down the line though. Once.
Wait. Sony does have a 2K TV out already, I think.
Well, I was just saying, whenever it gets to the point where it's more like not as expensive, more affordable the way HD TVs are nowadays. I'm just wondering how prevalent the new HDMI connector would be. Like, I don't even have a link to share with you guys about this connector, so this is just totally me talking out of my ass. But I'm pretty sure I read a story a little while back, earlier in the year, about whoever the body is that is in charge of all that. They were in the process of coming up with a new one that's smaller, more efficient, carries higher quality audio and video. Blah blah blah. I don't know. I probably should have even brought it up because I'm just kind of, like I said, talking out of my ass.
I mean, I don't think there would be a different connector for the HDMI stuff. I mean, HDMI is pretty universal now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
Does HDMI support 4K already?
I think it does. I think the standard would. I think it supports that bandwidth.
There are some cables that can, but not all HDMI cables can.
You have to buy the expensive monster cables.
Right, but the actual HDMI, the actual HDMI standard, not necessarily the cables, but the actual standard supports it.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no idea. Sure.
Anyways, so on top of the HDMI stuff, there is actually an HDMI in. So because they're trying to make this whole platform to be the all-in-one solution, you can also plug in, like, if you have a set-top box or a cable box that you plug in all your other sources to, like if you have a PlayStation 3, if you have a Wii, if you have a Blu-ray player, if you have maybe a media PC, and you plug it all into your receiver or something, and then you can plug your receiver into your Xbox and your Xbox to your TV. If you want to do it that way.
Does that mean I can play my PS3 on my Xbox One?
Play your old
You
Xbox.
can.
Probably.
I don't think that's going to be possible.
That'd be funny if it would be, though.
Xbox, play PS4 game. Yes.
I was kind of wondering about that HDMI in. I was like, what is that for? And then I was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be like an all-in-one thing. So.
I don't think that would work because the PS4 is its own console, even the PS3, so it's its own thing.
Yeah.
A cable box is kind of just a thing, but not its own thing.
I know in the fine print,
Exception.
in the fine print for the DVR functionality, it said something about how you need a cable or a set-top box with HDMI for the way you get your TV. So
I just looked up the high speed HDMIs we were talking about. You can get them right now for $2 on Monoprice. So these are extremely cheap for 4K resolution right now already.
Is it gold plated?
Yep.
Is it HDMI 1.4?
I think so.
That's the one that's for 4K and 3D.
Right. Yep. Pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really cheap, surprisingly.
Now I just need a TV that does that costs probably $10,000 right now, and a monitor for my computer that probably costs $10,000 right now. Because monitors and TVs are just 1080p, man. And the pixel density sucks. You need Retina.
Yeah, I've got a Retina MacBook Pro.
Oh my gosh,
there's nothing
you can't
like
go
it.
back.
You can't. You really can't.
And it's 4K. You can have it 4K.
And that's another thing that I just thought about. Bringing back to the price thing. Look how much TVs are, and they're just TVs. And look at like the Xbox. That's why I don't mind if it's $500 because it does a lot more than what a TV can do.
I mean, you think about the price of a smart TV being $2,500 or more.
Well,
it does
define a smart TV.
Yeah, true.
So smart TV is all the ones that have the extra apps like the YouTube integration, the Netflix, and all that stuff.
We have an Xbox.
Okay, because I was looking. Yeah, exactly. We do have an Xbox. But I was looking at TVs a couple weeks ago just for the hell of it, and I saw some at Best Buy that were like clearance. We're talking like maybe 150, 200, 250, somewhere in that area.
The hertz are right for gaming, and hopefully
Well, I'm just saying, like they all had some type of connectivity option. Most of them had just Ethernet, but I just know that there's like TVs with apps and oh man, I almost let it go again. And stuff. Like the price, like just about every TV has them nowadays, and I think that's kind of what the thing earlier today, the announcement, I think that's what they're trying to say, that the Xbox One is a solution to. It's a solution to, having to go several places to get your content and having to figure out how your TV works and everything. They want to put a user, a single user interface over all of that stuff, whether it's your smart TV or your cable or satellite or whatever.
I feel like this console is making us multitask more. It's promoting multitasking when that's terrible. Multitasking is bad for you. You don't get as much stuff done as you would think by multitasking. Ooh, I got a call. I got to watch TV. Fantasy football. Playing my game. Switch. Got to read this book. Reddit. YouTube. Video chat on Skype. While video chatting on Twitch. And, oh my god.
Well, I've always kind of had my thoughts on Microsoft has always kind of been that they're a company that seems like they don't realize what makes a success for them a success. And it seems like they're thinking that like what we all want. It's like, yeah, we want video games. Yeah, that'd be great. But let me tell you what I really want. I really want to be able, and
television.
So I've always kind of seen Microsoft as, a little clueless, and I think they confirmed it. I have it actually written down here, an actual quote. TV is the most take two. TV is the most important screen in the home. Really? Yeah. Since when? Like, it seems to me it's all mobile and tablet and all that.
Well, they seem to be targeting families.
Right. The average American still consumes 4 hours of TV a day on average, which is insane.
Well, how much do they spend on their phone? How much do they spend on their phone?
Or computer, for that matter.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm a big computer person.
Yeah, me too. That's why I like recording a podcast on Skype with the Xbox. That sounds like hell to me.
I can watch TV on my computer, play computer games, hook up my Xbox to my capture card and play it on my computer. There's no TV in there. Did anyone hear TV? Wait, let's go back.
You do know that it is the most important screen in the house.
Well, it's important for them, so of course they're going to say it's the most important. Like, there's no universal qualifier for what that means, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying
it's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, that just to me kind of reinforced my my feeling that I've had about Microsoft, that they seem kind of clueless as to what makes a product work, or what makes something great, or why people choose one thing over another. And whenever I came on the call earlier, y'all were talking about how I can't remember exactly, but it was like you don't like watching TV or whatever on your Xbox. You just play games, and that's what you want it to do. I think HaloFanForLife was saying that.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I can't imagine that very many people listening to this, or even on the call, like, feels that differently. They just seem kind of clueless. And I thought it was funny that they think that the TV is the most important screen in the house. I think if you actually asked people who lived in a house, they'd probably tell you something different.
Well,
I watch 2 shows a week right now, and that's it. So it's not the most important in my house. Well, we can't count hockey season, which is going on right now. But otherwise.
Well, for my
bad. Sorry, my dog.
For my personal, like me and my wife, we watch a ton of TV. We probably are in the middle of watching 8 to 10 TV shows right now, like weekly. Like each week they come out with a new episode and stuff. And if I didn't have my YouTube channel, then I wouldn't have Twitter. I wouldn't have my Ducain 23 Facebook. I really wouldn't get on the computer that much.
Well, I guess let's say you had to go a month with only one screen, like a phone, computer, TV, tablet, whatever. You still gonna pick your TV?
Probably, because I'd rather play video games.
You can do that on a phone.
And on a computer.
Phone games.
The thing is they keep saying TV screen though. I use my TV. I use for gaming. I used to have a cable box, down in my setup, but I realized that I don't really use it. My wife asked me, "Hey, do you mind if we take that cable box and put it in the upstairs bedroom?" Well, yeah, because I never use it, Now, granted, with all these new things that they integrated even into the 360, I've been able to catch up on some shows, but you have to pay for some of that stuff. So I can't do that with everything, I mean, I do use Crackle, which is free, but honestly, it's not like I have to have that stuff. And so for me, the TV is not being used for network television or cable television per se. It's being used for gaming. That's why I'd rather just give me a monitor. Let me do that. Why do I have to have all this extra fluff?
Well, with the
Xbox,
it's
just adding options. It's just adding to the experience. You don't have to do all this stuff, but
it's adding
bring
to the
those people
expense.
that want it.
Well, Microsoft wants this. Like the name suggests, Microsoft wants this all-in-one solution that you go to whenever you want to do any of your entertainment stuff, whether it's video games, whether it's watching TV, listening to music, watching movies, any of that kind of stuff. And that's why they're
really think that we're going to drop, using cable. We're going to drop using our smartphones. We're going to drop using our computer solely just for the Xbox.
Well, no.
To the average consumer, yes.
Well, no. They've got that built-in functionality where you can search your channels on your cable box.
And you have Smart Glass, the app on your phone or iPad or whatever. So they're integrating everything so you can use everything you have. You don't have to get rid of anything, but you use it with their service and they get you. And then you pay the $50 a year for gold to be able to do Netflix or what have you.
But it's going to be a lot more expensive for the Xbox One.
Oh, no, I think they're going to keep... They said that we're going to continue to pay what we're paying right now. But what they're not telling us is all the new stuff that you have to pay extra for that's not included in the gold membership. Like, they used the term premium whenever they were referring to the new Halo series.
It'll probably be like a platinum membership instead of gold. They'll probably have something... Okay, you can have silver, you can have gold, now you can have platinum.
That seems ridiculous to me. Personally, I mean, here's this premium tier, and here's super duper premium tier.
It's for.
Well, I think it'll be more like actually buying a subscription to seasons.
Yeah.
Because they used the premium specifically. They didn't use platinum.
You already do that through Xbox. If you use their TV service there on the 360 right now, that's what you can do. You can buy a season. Or you can buy individual episodes.
Yeah, I'm an Apple TV guy. Have any of you guys though bought any video or TVs or whatever or TV shows?
Nope.
Yeah, I have.
You bought them on the Xbox?
Yes.
I did that once, and then
I've done the I've gotten the free
TV
ones.
show, like one episode.
I've done that only because I sometimes it comes in conflict. Whenever there's a show that I want to watch, maybe my wife is watching TV, doing something else. I don't maybe want to go to the upstairs to watch it. So for me to buy a TV series, whether it's a specific show or the whole season, I can then go back and rewatch the episodes anytime I want. And that much I do like. Though it does get to be a little expensive. That's why I don't do it anymore. But, I did do that last year. And,
but that's how the Apple TV is. You can buy stuff from the iTunes store.
Yeah, and then it's tied to your account, and you can watch it on your computer, iPad, or wherever.
Yeah, or the Apple. Yeah, or your Apple TV. I never really.
That's what I don't like about the Xbox though, is because it's just the Xbox. You buy a TV show,
and
or
you can only watch it on the Xbox.
It's just the Xbox. And then
you should be able to go through Xbox.com and do that.
Didn't Microsoft rename one of its media services to
Zune to Xbox Music?
Do they have Xbox Video?
Yeah, they have something like that.
Video, yes.
Is it? Yep. Is it just on the Xbox though?
Yeah.
No, you can go to on the Zune. You talk about the Zune stuff?
Well, I'm just because I know they have Xbox
What's
Music.
A Zune?
Oh, well, I still own my Zune, and I still use it on my computer actually. But yeah, you can get all that service on your computer as well.
Well, yeah, I didn't. Okay, all right, that's cool. Yeah. You squirt with your Zune at all?
What's that?
Have you did you ever get to squirt with anybody else with a Zune before?
No, I have not. But like, people recommended songs to me through the Zune marketplace. I thought Zune was really well done, but it just never caught on. It lost to iTunes.
That's why they rebranded it to Xbox Music. I think.
Exactly. Yeah. To try to relaunch it and whatnot, but I really like the service of it. I'm kind of a fanboy. I've been on iTunes before, and it's cool. You pay your 99 cents, but with Zune, that subscription was so nice because you pay $14. You get access to all the songs, plus they give you 10 songs free each month that you can just buy out of any of them. So it was actually inherently cheaper than iTunes. But oh well. This is a different story.
Before we move on, we have two new people joining our ranks. We have dropped a couple, but we have two new ones kind of filling in. First one is Molten Slowa.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I love Slowa.
Morning.
You heard me.
I won't ask. I won't ask.
Don't worry about it.
And we also have another person from the Ready Up Live community, and that is Micky.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Did you Ready Up Live?
You were so
just,
fine, by the way.
Breed or something? Y'all blew up over the past not too long ago. So many of y'all now.
It's a very close-knit community. We're very close.
Yeah, you had your 3 Griffballers on here, and now it's the 3 RULers.
And the 3 Dustins.
Oh, yes, we have the 3 Dustins. Yes, that's right.
The Triple D.
Wait, well, Drax isn't in here at the moment. He dropped off for a little bit.
So it's only Double D.
Double D at the moment, but he'll be back on. Yes, we just say Double D. So, kind of wrapping up with the hardware discussion for the Xbox. What do you guys think of the whole switching back and forth between the application OS and the gaming OS?
All right, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
If it goes that fast, I'll be happy.
Yeah, if it actually goes that fast, that would be cool.
I didn't understand it. They said that they have 3 OSs, right? One for gaming, one for application. What's the third?
For the integration between the two.
So basically how it works is what they were trying to do with the hardware for the new Xbox is make it like a supercomputer. So kind of almost server technology stuff where you have all the hardware there to really pump a lot of power into providing all the features and capabilities that you need for gaming alongside with the apps, but do it in such a way where the resources kind of balanced out between the two. So what they've done is virtualize the 2 main operating systems and then have an underlying operating system that's kind of like a hypervisor. So anyone out there that speaks techie stuff or knows anything about like server administration or stuff like that knows that a lot of the services out there are virtualized. So you usually have a piece of software called a hypervisor that manages all these VMs, and then
virtual machines. Yeah,
virtual machines, and then you have those individual virtual machines that usually perform specific tasks. So there's an underlying operating system that basically manages these 2 operating systems, and it enables it to switch back and forth between the 2. And then there's the second operating system, which runs straight games. It's dedicated to games where it has its dedicated hardware there. And then the third operating system, which is basically your dashboard and all the apps that fit in there as well. Does that make sense?
So it's a Venn diagram of operating systems.
I don't know. I saw all of it and I thought, oh great, now 3 Microsoft operating systems in one box. What could be better?
And yet, Internet Explorer still slow as glue.
Wow.
Just say it.
But basically, that's how that whole switching back and forth works. And how the presentation went with the switching back and forth, if that's how fast it really goes, I'm impressed. I mean, hands down. Once I saw that, I'm like, wow, that's really cool that they have that much power to really put into being able to switch back and forth between games, TV, apps such as Internet Explorer and Skype. Just being able to switch back and forth like that, like you're actually on the desktop, is so cool to see.
It's like it's finally catching up with technology that was around 5 years ago on computers.
Yeah.
Or is that just me? Am I noticing a wrong trend here?
I'm curious to how far it'll go. For instance, like the iPhone can only do like 4 or so apps, and then you have to reload it. But like if I can load up everything on the console and then switch back to the first thing, or just only limit it to like you only have this much RAM, and when you run out of RAM, your box just turns off and says nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how it'll handle all that.
So how they described it during the presentation is, or at least during the recap where they had the engineers on to talk about the Xbox, is, at least from the RAM perspective, they put in 8 gigs of RAM into the box because typically 4 gigs of RAM would be enough for their game platform and for the apps. But because they wanted the ability to switch back and forth between these two modes seamlessly, they put in 8 gigs. So you have 4 gigs dedicated to the game OS and then 4 gigs dedicated to the app OS. And I have a feeling they probably have processors split up in the similar fashion.
8 gigs is standard now. I mean, 16 would have been great for the Xbox One. Because games are just going to get more powerful, and if they do 4K for gaming, it's just going to hog up everything.
But you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of. You don't need a lot of RAM for that. You don't need a lot of RAM for that. You need a lot of graphics RAM for that. And I think they didn't go into too much detail with that, but it seems like they're putting a lot more emphasis on having those graphic resources ready inside the graphics chip.
What is the graphics card in the Xbox One, and how much VRAM does it have? Because that's
they didn't go into those details.
Polygon article, it's an ATI Xenos GPU running at 500 MHz. Why can't I say that word? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one of
megahertz.
Yes, that's.
Because that graphics card's going to be obsolete
but what's the size
in like
on
2
that?
years.
How much graphics RAM is on that, Slowa?
It doesn't say. It just gives the clock.
Yeah, because graphics cards are changing every year. So I mean, the Xbox 360 lasted a while, but it fell behind. I mean, 720p. And
that's gonna happen with any console, though. It's gonna fall behind.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you can't upgrade during the
I feel like it's
PC.
already behind. You know what I mean? Or is that just me? Kind of like, it's really cool for consoles, but it kind of feels like, wow, that would have been great a couple years ago, but now it's kind of okay.
Well,
compared to everything.
Hey guys, real quick, if you don't mind me interrupting, I gotta leave here. I'm not feeling so good. Wanted to thank you for letting me get in on the stream here, and it's been enjoyable for the conversation.
Yeah. Thanks, Sal, for coming.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Have a good one, Sal.
Yeah.
With that said, replacing him at the moment is another RUL person, Chewy.
Oh, great.
It's like
What's
a
going
rotating
on,
door.
And you got the intro wrong, Dustin.
I introed you the way I wanted to.
All right.
Just saying. You're on the show. How about that? Everyone else didn't get a special intro. You got your intro.
Fine, I'll take it.
You better.
If you're going to buy those graphics cards in bulk, it would be less expensive to use the ones that you're using now, as long as they're a step up from the 360 graphics cards.
Yeah. Right, especially because graphic card prices in the last 6 months have been kind of absurd, and kind of not absurd, depending on what day it is.
And that's what, with the Xbox One, I feel, or consoles in general, like I used to play just the console before I had a computer, because that's kind of just what my parents gave me, or that's what I had access to. So I feel like the consoles are targeted towards younger people, And then once people get older and are able to afford a computer of their own, that's when they kind of get into the PC gaming and kind of leave console behind. And that's why the Wii did so well, because they targeted families and kids. And the Wii outsold the 360 and the PS3. So I think that's what Microsoft's trying to do with the new Xbox, is just tailor it towards family and make it a huge entertainment system for kids, adults, and I guess the hardcore gamers if they're still into it and don't have a powerful PC yet, kind of thing.
Well, I don't know. I could have a totally decked out gaming PC if I wanted one, but like I don't have one because I would never use it. Like I think it's just more of like a comfort level and just like what kind of guy you are, you know, like your guy just likes to, you know, hop on your Xbox, something you flip on and it comes on, and like the only thing you have to worry about is paying your live subscription, unfortunately, and all and all that, and hoping it doesn't red ring. Or like you know, with a gaming PC, you know, you've kind of, you know, opened up your computer more times than you could possibly count, and you hope that something doesn't short out, or that something's sitting in there okay, or oh man, why isn't my fill in the blank working with fill in the blank game, and having to get on, you know, Google, you know, error codes or whatever. Yeah, only to find out you got to upgrade, or it's not compatible with just that specific type of graphics card, but anyone is okay. Like I think it just depends on what kind of guy you are.
Like I just got my gaming PC and stuff, and it pretty much will run anything. But you know, I still love going on the console, and more than playing on PC. It's just, I don't know. It's just how I always like it.
It's about the controller for me.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, I grew up with the Xbox, so I kind of feel like, you know, because I got comfortable with that and used to that. But a lot of my friends now have just strictly gone PC gaming and have ridden off the Xbox. So it's like, I have no one to play with except randoms. And so I play a lot on the PC now because that's where the friends kind of migrated to as they got older. Mm-hmm. I held on tight to the console as long as I could.
I think it also depends on the genre you like to play too.
That's
like
true.
It used to be PCs were like, you know, if you wanted to play a shooter, you go to the PC, but that's kind of one of the things that Halo, yeah.
RTSs suck on the console though.
I don't like them anyways. PC? I think they suck on either.
No, on the console. I can't play
RTS.
Yeah.
StarCraft?
Yeah, on a console.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's stuck on a console. I was like,
no.
You're saying it sucks.
No, it's the reverse, bro. But that's just we don't have enough buttons. Maybe with the new controller, we'll have more buttons to be able to add it to our buttons.
It looks like it's the same amount of buttons.
You need the keyboard and the mouse.
Dude, they need more buttons.
I don't understand why the Xbox 360 couldn't even incorporate a keyboard usage, because if for the MMO, the Final Fantasy 11, you can use the keyboard and key bindings on it. I guess it was just maybe the producers, the developers never incorporated that, but I thought Halo Wars was good.
Every time I type on the freaking 360 though, it lags terribly.
Well, you know,
really?
you can hook a regular keyboard up to the 360.
Yeah, that's
like
what I'm
a
saying.
USB keyboard. Yeah, it's only compatible though when you're in the dash. Which also
well, no, some games actually do support it.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 11, like I said, did.
Uno supports it, believe it or not.
Uno does? Oh man, I didn't know.
No, I'm sorry, no. Uno supports Smart Glass. Take that back.
Well, that's what I was about to
Don't
say.
get our hopes up.
With Smart Glass.
Sorry, my bad. But some games do support the keyboard.
You can use Smart Glass, where you can use an actual USB keyboard.
Someone just busted in.
Yeah, that was Chewy.
It
Sounds like he's like
fully manned it up in
that back alley or something.
He doesn't like us. He's leaving.
I actually have to go, guys. I have a Griffball playoff game that I have to go, a series that I have to go play. So
bye, JJ.
Bye. Dustin, thank you for having me. Guys, y'all, the conversation was amazing. Y'all know y'all stuff, and thank you for having me once again.
Thanks for coming, Tex. We're gonna keep on going strong, but we'll keep you here in spirit. Chewy, you okay over there?
Yeah. Do I have some weird noises coming through my
Are you getting coins or something?
Chewy's sitting in Mombasa. Just
my bad. That was the superintendent. I found a terminal.
Yay! Nice terminal. So let's see some of the other details of the hardware stuff. From the Kinect side of things.
What's the Wi-Fi? There's a Wi-Fi.
Did they say?
Oh, shit.
So they just said that there's 2 Wi-Fi radios in there. It's still 802.11.
Wi-Fi Direct.
Oh yeah, for the I think that's for like the controllers and stuff.
Is it? Because I've never even heard of that until today.
Yeah. So I have the controller breakout up on the stream right now. So I'm basically thinking it's some kind of some kind of custom 802.11 spec that they're using for the controllers, and probably what other peripherals that they have up there. Speaking of which, what are your guys' feelings that it doesn't look like we're going to have any wired controllers for this? It looks like it's all going to be wireless.
Wait, really?
Well,
I hate
I'm
it.
guessing
I hate
because
that there's only one controller really that is out there for the 360.
On the new controller, or the 360 controller is not compatible with the one.
They didn't say it
Probably
wasn't.
not.
They didn't say it wasn't.
I don't
but
think it
knowing
will be.
Microsoft.
And I have a surplus of them. What am I going to do?
I will take them. Mine
I don't have a surplus, but what if
Damn
I
it.
did? What if I did?
I'd
Well,
still take
I'm really into the third-party controller market out there. Like, there's hardly any of them that are worth a damn. But like, I've got like the MLG one. I've got the new Razer Sabertooth or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And aren't the headsets not going to be compatible too? That are out now for the 360.
But the way they do their headsets now is just one optical cable and then connecting your.
No, but we're
headset
talking
to
about like the ones that you plug in the 2.5.
Yeah. Oh,
millimeter
They all have
ones.
to be connected to the controller to function. Like my Asteroid 50s, if that's true, they're going to be useless.
Oh, you've got 50s too?
Yeah. So I was really disappointed and scared when I heard that.
What am I going to do with all my surplus Xbox 360
There's probably going to be adapters.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't use
Keep
them.
your
360.
Just use them as pillows and cry.
And
real quick, people that go to and follow MLG events, don't they only allow wired controllers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
man.
Otherwise, you have hundreds of Xboxes with hundreds of wireless controllers and hundreds of wireless headsets. It's a nightmare to organize.
That's a perfect
Plus,
setup.
I don't use wireless headsets though.
Well,
no, you're not allowed either. But the point
reason
also
for that,
is that yeah, they can't connect, but also they don't want the batteries to die during gameplay, so they don't have issues with that.
Everyone will be running for
the
batteries.
other thing is because that spectrum just gets flooded with all those controllers, everyone would desync.
No, yeah, that's the point. Exactly.
I'm sure. I think what it'll be is just the console itself will come out with a wireless controller, and they'll probably have a wired one and stuff that you could just buy separate.
Yeah, that sounds
Probably what it's going to.
Wouldn't having to run for batteries in the middle of an event add more excitement to it, though? That sounds kind of awesome.
Who's going to get there first?
Like there's battery stores where players have
Limited
to
amount
run
of batteries.
If
and
it's in
$100,000 prize taken by the blue team because red team's controller.
Isn't it kind of like? Isn't
Well,
it
in
kind of like
MLG,
NASCAR?
they
Having
call-
going for a pit stop and stuff.
Well, do we even know that the batteries are replaceable?
I don't think they will be. It looked a lot flatter.
It
But
looked
if
like
you're
a pack.
If you're an MLG, you got to call them bats though. You got to make the name shorter. Bats.
God, they call them bats.
I mean, the way it looks to me, if you look at the back of the controller, there is a pack that slides off. I don't think there's actually batteries in there. I think it's just like the rechargeable deal where you take one out, charge it,
Pass it
put
around.
another one back in. You just keep on going.
The freaking rechargeable batteries on the 360 controllers suck. They would die so quickly, so I just have mine hooked up wired to its charger into the Xbox all the time.
That's what I have.
Because there's no point to keep it wired because it dies so quickly. And then
Well,
it warns you every every once in a while they'll warn you, your battery is running low.
I personally use a wired controller, and then if I have guests over, I'll go pick out wireless controllers for them. But I always use.
Why do you use a wired
Luxury.
one?
Just because that, like, Halo 3 for me is a perfect example, because on a local box, I would get into sword duels with people, and because I had a wired controller, I would win.
Okay.
It's just that slight split second
Oh yeah, that's another
quicker
point.
because it's wired over wireless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would like
It's
to test
just
this
that
theory.
much quicker.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I know wires create clutter, but when it comes down to actual response and consistent connection, wired is the way you want to go for everything.
Is that
OP.
why I suck at Halo 4?
Maybe.
Yes.
I'm not using a wired controller.
That might be why.
That's what you want to
exactly
believe.
why.
Oh, okay. Nice.
See, Eli, you didn't put that in your Road to MLG.
I know.
stuff.
I'm gonna make
See?
a video
There you go.
tomorrow.
Thanks.
Wired controllers will get you your 50.
You got to shout me out in that video too.
was following all your directions, and that was the only one I was missing. To be good.
I'm so sorry, Ducain. How can I make it up to you?
Bring Oreos next time we see each other.
All right. Is anyone going to E3? E3?
No, unfortunately not.
What?
I'll be at RTX and PAX.
PAX.
Oh, no Comic-Con either?
PAX.
I'll miss you guys.
I can't. It's too much money.
Not this year. Maybe next year.
RTX, it's only 2 hours away from me, so.
All right.
PAX.
Where are you? If you're 2 hours away.
Houston.
Okay. I'm in Dallas.
Texas. Yes.
Wait, you're in
Halo
Houston?
community, bringing people together since
I'll have to come
2013.
visit you at Christmas time. I'm going home for Christmas. And my parents are in Houston.
Awesome.
That's where I did my treatment, my cancer treatment in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, enough
Sorry,
about Houston.
I don't know why. Yeah, you can.
No, this is cool. So yeah, the Wi-Fi Direct stuff is specifically for the controllers and the other peripherals that they'll probably add on later on, like probably steering wheels and what other extra accessories.
More
that they want.
money.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like the controller's really gone too much under design change. It seems pretty standard to how the controller was before.
I like the cross D-pad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
D-pad's pretty cool.
Needs more buttons.
So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't add any more buttons on there. And it's interesting how they have the guide button now kind of at the top of the controller instead of the center of the controller.
That I think is going to help a lot because there's so many times when I'm just talking to people like my girlfriend or something, just like press the X, just press the X in the middle. You don't, and she's like looking around for a button. Everyone thinks on the 360 is part of the design, like you can't touch it.
Yeah.
Now they can touch it and it'll make sense.
Well, and there's the other part where if I'm going to check the scoreboard or something and I hit the back, I'll accidentally hit the guide button, or if I try to hit start.
I'm guilty of that one.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times.
I got you. But no, like the Sabertooth, someone mentioned they had the Sabertooth. That has 2 extra triggers on the back, right? And it also
and they're not just triggers, by the way. They go forward and backward, each one.
That's right. They're double triggers.
Yeah.
Thank you. And there's double bumpers on the top. 2 little bumpers slightly toward the center on each side, right behind the original bumpers.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
That's like, 6 extra buttons that you can customize to be any of those other buttons. Why didn't they put those buttons on the new Xbox One controller? Because it needs more buttons.
I agree with that.
We need to make you a controller that just has buttons all over it.
So many buttons.
Computer.
Yeah, you just lean your palm a little bit to the right and it hits a button. You know.
One of my friends actually has, I don't remember what the name of the controller is, but it's a Razer controller, and it's on the back.
Onza. Razer
The Onza.
Yeah, I just love those, just those 2 extra buttons, because it's so much easier just to click, oh, there's the reload, or there's the crouch, or jump, whatever.
Well, that's what I did. In Halo 3, I was a huge bumper jumper guy, and whenever Reach came out, like if you didn't want to have sprint on one of the skittle buttons, as I call it, or maybe other people call it too, but you'd have to use the default layout, and so you would lose bumper jumper. So with those 2 extra buttons under the bumpers on the Onza, you could just set the bumper to the left to mimic the jump button. And another cool idea on the website is they showed that for the right bumper, set that to your trigger. That way you just have a really, really low action trigger, and it's a little more stable than actually using a real trigger. I don't know if any of that makes sense. So there's that, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I gotta head out. This would be a good time. Segue.
Aw, see you, Chris. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I talked about it.
Bye-bye. So I'm reading over this graphics again for the controller, and it does say integrated battery compartment.
Yeah.
that usually means whenever they say integrated, that means it can't be removed. That's usually what that means.
Which means wireless.
Which means
What
wireless.
does that mysterious port on the back mean? Woo!
Charging.
But it looks like it has arrows on it, where it looks like an eject button.
Or maybe it's just pointing the insert for the charger here.
Maybe it's not the eject button. Maybe it's like, please put in here.
Insert
it's
here.
an inject button.
Please insert here.
Well, that's what I think. It'll be wireless, like comes with the Xbox, and then you just buy a wired controller separate. Because wasn't that how the 360 was?
Yes, it is.
So it'll probably just be like that. That's what I figured.
Yeah, it sucks.
There aren't any
and it's funny because I think wireless controllers are now cheaper than wired controllers for the Xbox 360.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. Like if you go on the Amazon,
I don't believe that. I'm looking this up.
I think in some cases the wired controllers are more expensive than the wireless ones.
Yeah.
Amazon has a Z in it. Thank you. Okay. Let's look this up.
But also one thing that talking about specs, the 500 gig, like why did they just choose 500 gigs as like, the internal memory and stuff? Why not a terabyte?
Oh, so they actually did have a solid.
Yeah, look at the picture. I think that's what it like.
Yeah, I saw 500 as well. Yeah.
500 gig hard drive.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And it's like why?
Still a 2.5.
Before we move on, the wireless is still more expensive than the wired. Just FYI.
Okay.
Maybe you saw like a sale one time when you were looking at it or something.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Maybe.
Do you have a price on those? Is it still like 36 and 39?
32 and 46.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. But, by the way, back to the whole terabyte instead of 500, I think it's just to keep the cost of it relatively low because nobody wants to buy a $700 console.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at I probably would too at this point actually, but like looking at the difference between the 240 or 2 whatever it was and then 320, I mean, it was like almost $100 difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Which 500 gigs is a lot for a console, but
I want to know who the hell's filming that.
No, it's not though.
I'm down to, I think, like on the console I have now, which is whatever the Xbox, the S version. What is that, 250?
320.
Or is it 320? Okay. So
the biggest hard drive they have out there right now is 320.
Okay. I'm not sure if it was 250 or 320, but I'm down to 40 gigs, and I only have, I think, 3 games saved on there, so that would just be 30 gigs, like used up for.
You may have the 120 then.
No, I know I have at least 250. And the thing is, I have a crap ton of arcade games and DLC and stuff like that, which I have over probably 60 360 games. So I buy a lot of games.
See, I'm still running the first gen, man. I still have one that has a 20 gig hard drive, man.
I'm still running.
I mean, that's got to be like all Halo 4. I mean, the 8 gig installed, the like few gigs of DLC, plus if you have the game installed on the hard drive.
It's almost all Halo 4.
Well, let's talk about.
I have a flash drive that holds all the Spartan Ops missions.
Let's talk about. If you want to talk about DLC, talk about Battlefield.
Oh,
that's like a good 10 gigs at least.
Yes. Yeah,
per pack?
Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it per pack?
No, it's huge though. I think I have at least 15 gigs of DLC for Battlefield, if not, and that's just the DLC. That's not including the install for the game.
Yeah, they always have those updates.
HD pack.
Dude, and they had like the title update that was like 6 gigs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think the Armor Kill one by itself.
Actually,
was like
I'm going to turn my Xbox and see how much space Battlefield's taking up at the moment.
Yeah,
I install all of my games to the hard drive.
I don't, because I would run out.
When I recently got super lazy and just decided to buy Halo 4 again, games on demand wise. So I don't have to keep putting different discs.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's a good 7.1 gigs for Halo 4. It took multiple hours to download.
But it's not counting the second disc, which is the multiplayer, and then the DLC in Spartan Ops 1.5? Or is that just the base?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably the base. Probably just the base 2 discs.
I mean, storage is getting cheaper, but games are also getting bigger. Like Bioshock Infinite is 15 gigs on PC, so I can see myself running out of 500 gigs of space, and that's only games. Just think about apps.
Dude, each of those gigs for Bioshock Infinite is totally worth it, though.
Oh, it's absolutely worth it. But I mean, I also have a terabyte in my computer, not 500 gigabytes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 500 gigs is going to go pretty quickly. I mean, what a Blu-ray disc can hold up to what, like 50 gigs of memory?
Yeah,
so
50 gigs. Yep.
I don't think games will be that big coming out, but I mean, towards the end of the cycle, we'll have the 50 gigs and then a second disc that needs to be installed on the Xbox just to handle all that.
It would be nice if we could do something with the Xbox One, like Sony did with their PlayStation 3, and actually be able to put in our own hard drives. It's not that hard to do that.
Yeah.
And they repeatedly said throughout the presentation today, we're trying to listen to our consumers. We're really trying to pay attention to what our consumers want. Well, we want to be able to put our own hard drives in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and if they wanted an all-in-one, console to where you can, have movies on there, everything like that, it'd be better to where you can just have pretty much as much as you want.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I think the biggest hard drive right
you.
now in 3.5-inch form is 4 terabytes.
Yeah, I think it's 4.
Then it was a 2.5 drive inside.
Yeah,
of
they're
it?
2.5 drive.
So 1 terabyte.
Oh,
on
it's still
Amazon?
2.5?
Yeah.
Why are we still doing 2.5?
I have no idea.
It's a freaking monster all-in-one. Why are we using 3.5s at this point? There's enough freaking space in there.
Is there?
1 terabyte is $84. I would totally pay $84 for an extra terabyte.
Yeah. See, I hope eventually maybe they'll come out with another console, or maybe at launch they'll have multiple different types, sizes of the hard drives and stuff.
That's actually
maybe
thinking back to do you remember the PS2 memory cards? They were a good $30 for 20 megabytes or something like that. It was ridiculous how expensive space was, and now you're saying 1 terabyte for $80. That is dirt cheap.
I just bought a 32 gig flash drive for like $7 the other day. I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyone want to take a guess on how much 20 megabytes cost today?
Well,
7 cents.
7 cents. Oh,
wow, everyone was on top of that one, weren't they?
I looked it up earlier.
That was a guess. Holy crap.
Yeah, me too.
Give that man a 7-cent prize.
What do you win? 7 cents.
So, yeah, okay. Still, 500 gigs does not seem like a lot with how people are downloading stuff in terms of movies and installing games to Xboxes and all the DLC. It's just...
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yeah, imagine how you're saying with Battlefield. Imagine the next Battlefield. It's DLC size.
Oh, and I pulled up what my install size for Battlefield currently is, and it's 18.6 gigs. And I think I'm actually missing a map pack in that. So...
Yeah.
That just shows you how big it is.
It'd be nice if they let you use, external hard drives as well. I mean, on top of the built-in, the way they do with, letting you use a flash drive. Why can't you use a portable type of USB hard drive with the 360? I mean,
you
can. It's just that it's limited to that 16 gigabyte
I thought
format.
It was
32. They updated it.
It's 32.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't know
That's
that.
what I use.
You can only use, I think, 2 partitions in 1 USB port.
What if you... yeah. Okay.
As far as I know, I could be wrong.
Well, I have a 30 gig drive that I was using, and I had it as a 16 gig partition because that was the max you could go. I'll have to try it out. Huh.
Good.
It works. I'm using it right now for Halo.
All right. So yeah, finishing up the hardware discussion, 8-core CPU, 8 gigs memory, 500 gig hard drive, Blu-ray, Yay. The wireless HDMI in and out, and then it has USB 3.0 ports. It looks like it has, just from the image that I'm looking at, maybe 2 on the back, and maybe a few
one on the top.
Yeah, 1 on the top, and then it doesn't look like there's any in the front, although the current image I'm looking at the stream underneath the disk drive on the bottom right there, I wonder if those are USBs or not. Can't quite tell. Let me pull up that
I know it kind of looks like
that
it.
video graphic and see if it actually shows it there. No, it's not there. So yeah, it's a few USB 3.0 ports.
For what?
So I'm assuming one of them is for Kinect, or I'm sorry. There's a
Kinect.
Yeah, there is a Kinect plug. Probably charging the controllers for one. I would guess.
3 for that.
And you have your peripherals like guitars for like Rock Band, the microphones, and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't need to be USB 3.
They probably figured just
USB 3 is the latest standard, so why not just go ahead with the latest standard, right?
Just in case
I guess
everything goes USB 3. So
yeah.
I was just trying to figure out. I mean, that's one reason I was bringing up the external storage. With the, I don't know. But yeah, I guess it would probably be pretty prudent to keep that updated. I keep forgetting about USB 3, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But you do bring up a good point. If they put it on there, clearly they intend to plug something into it. The question is, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably peripherals and a few other things.
And also, just in case, like you have a wired controller, but what if you have 4 people over? So maybe it's also partially that, so you can actually plug in every controller and stuff. So.
Possibly. Okay, let's move on to, I think what the people are kind of ready for is the games. The exclusive games that got announced at the Xbox reveal.
The what?
The games.
Was that an intentional question? Or
No. I was being sarcastic. Continue.
Okay, alright, so... alright. I'm about to say, hopefully we didn't miss something here. But first one is, of course, Forza Motorsport. Personally, I don't play it, but I'm sure some of you guys have probably played it. So I'll let you guys talk to that from what you guys saw.
Well, I don't play. I haven't played Forza previous besides Forza 4, but I'm looking forward to it. And the thing is, I know some people have said about the graphics on it. They said it looks good, but not really that much of a step up from what the 360 and everything. But you also got to remember it's kind of it's a launch title. It's something that's coming out just, really early on for the console. So they haven't quite, figured out everything. Look at Halo 4 now compared to, Halo 3 or something, so yeah, that's just my little thing about the graphics. Because I know some people have said stuff about it not looking as good.
You can definitely tell there's 2 cars going around the track.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It looked good, but it looked like all the other racing games that I don't really play all that much. From someone who, from a point of view of somebody who doesn't play racing games at all, it looked nice, but it,
There was nothing that gravitated you as a non-race type into it, basically.
Yeah, it didn't jump out at me like, oh man, look at,
There was another racing game. I don't think it's Forza. I can't remember what it was, but it's going to be coming out. I don't know if it's coming out on, Xbox One or if it's coming out 360 in the summer or something like that. But they did it where it's going to have I don't know exactly what they call it, a changing track where you won't, let's say you're racing in the city, you won't actually race on the same part again. Let's say you're racing through and you go down Avenue 1 or whatever you want to call it, and you take a left, and then later on, instead of on your second lap, you go down Avenue 1 again, you'll actually be going down another street for your second lap. So the track changes and it,
I
changes.
think that was
every
Need for
race.
Speed.
Was it Need for Speed?
I think that might have been in the next Need for Speed game.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what game. It may have been Need for Speed, yeah.
I think it's Need for Speed.
So it builds the track while you're on it?
Yeah, it literally will change. And, let's say you race on that exact same thing again, you know, like you go back to the exact same, whatever you call it, playlist or something, you still won't race the same track. Like it has pretty much infinite variety of tracks, you know, that it would go. So
kind of cool.
That's something that's kind of cool. And maybe, you know, of course we haven't heard a lot about Forza, the new one. So maybe they'll copy that or something. That would be really awesome.
When they were doing the whole close-ups of everything in that one short cinematic piece that they showed, the detail on those cars, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was freaking insane. And if that's actual, like, Xbox rendered, that's nice.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Like, a lot of this stuff they were showing it seems like, you know, the pre-rendered stuff, you know, beforehand. It's like, I want to see actual gameplay, you know, to see what it actually looks like in-game.
Agreed. I know it's the same thing, too.
Well, a lot of people during the stream were like shouting, gameplay, and we never saw actual gameplay done.
Well, we saw
the
some
Xbox
stuff from EA Sports.
We saw stuff, but we didn't actually see people sitting down with a controller in their hands playing the game. I think that's what people were wanting, is actual gameplay.
Yeah, someone goes up there on the stage and
right.
You know,
I see. Okay,
but we'll get that at E3. Yeah. E3 is going to be where it's at. I should contract Eli to cover for a little bit for Podtacular.
Wait, what you want me to do?
Huh? I don't know. Did I say something? Huh? What?
You want me to talk? All right. So this is what they didn't tell you was I'm starring in the new Spielberg TV series. Woo! Not really. I wish.
As a
Cortana?
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
As Cortana.
I mean, you always wanted to see Cortana naked. There you go.
I've been bench pressing a lot. Check out them titties. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, baby girl.
This isn't big enough yet.
Oh,
that's a fact. Sorry. It'll get there soon, though. I'll get implants for you. Don't worry. Is that what you wanted me to talk about, Dustin?
Wouldn't that be great, though, Eli, if you're actually in the new TV series, like as just a real quick extra, but you were like in a naked like scene or something, like a shower scene where they, you know, have you covered and all that stuff. That'd be hilarious.
A naked Marine just dies and yells out the name Eli.
Basically, yeah. My dad.
I would just say this.
He's like, you need to get in that. Like, he's like, Steven Spielberg, Halo TV, do it. I was like, okay, if it were so easy. Like,
yeah. Let me just call up my contacts.
Yeah, I'll just say this. I have first-hand experience from Eli's nakedness.
That you do. We slept together, but that would give people the
that just sounds weird, I know.
Slept in the same bed together.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
That's better.
Yeah, we just did. Yeah, that didn't help our case there, Eli.
No,
maybe it helped it.
We were just in the same bed.
Also, he took pictures of me in the morning, half naked, and sent them out on Twitter. Dustin, that was supposed to be
I believe you were covered.
Yeah, the important stuff was covered. But
yeah, the important stuff was covered.
All
of our secret stuff is still secret.
That weekend, PAX is so much fun. If you can go to PAX, people just do it.
Yeah.
PAX Prime.
Might be slightly biased, but you should all go to PAX. Wink, nudge,
punch,
kick down flight of stairs. Go.
Only if it's consensual. I mean, what?
I'm gonna run to the gym now. Thanks for having me, though, Dustin. This has been fun as always.
Thank you for coming.
Gym?
We'll
What's
get you.
that?
We'll get you on again soon.
It's this place where people called gamers go, so that when they go to PAX Prime, they look jacked and can give each other fist pumps.
Okay, then I need to start going to that.
I don't make it. I have to know.
Are you going to PAX this year, Eli?
They make me wear a t-shirt, unfortunately. I actually don't have a pass yet. I'm waiting to hear back from Maker Studios about my press badge. So, fingers crossed.
Well, I think I may have extra just regular passes if you don't get one. I'm also going to be trying to get a press pass as well.
What? How do you have just like leftover?
Well, someone that was planning to go may not be going. So.
Okay, then I will contact Makers tomorrow and let you know, because that would be dope.
If you need a room, I have one thanks to the folks at RUL, and I could use some roommates.
Ooh, well, we've done it before. I would love to do it again.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, sweet.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. We need to get you back on the show soon.
Of course.
Later.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye, Eli.
And Chewy's back to replace him.
Oh, Can we have Eli back?
I think we've had enough awesomeness of Eli, and now we have the awesomeness of Chewy.
So I just want to say real quick, when Forza Motorsport 5 was announced, there was a very happy Rukizzle and Grim Brother one.
Oh, that's good to know. It's good to know our Waypoint moderators will be very, very happy about the new Xbox. So, on to the next game. This is a brand new one. I actually haven't heard any details about this one before this reveal, but this one's called Quantum Break. And it's kind of a mix between Time Crisis and
Alan Wake.
Alan Wake, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that was just like a cutscene intermixed with live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked interesting, but of course you don't know much about it, so can't really have that too much of a opinion on it.
Yeah.
It looks cool so far.
I've heard really good things about Alan Wake. I bought it but never finished it, but I heard other people liked it.
I've heard good things about it. I've just never played it.
Yeah, and yeah, I didn't stop playing it because I didn't like it. I just never got around to finishing it. But
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I bought the limited edition of it too, which probably wasn't the best.
To totally hijack the stream real quick, Alan Wake is currently $5 on Xbox instead of $30. Just throwing that out there.
Wow.
Wait, what's $5?
For games on demand?
Alan Wake, games on demand, $5.
I might have to buy that.
Okay, I might have to disappear for a minute.
I think that counts for the whole stream right now.
Intermission.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go get it too after this.
Alan Wake break.
Alan Wake break. Hashtag Alan Wake break. So yeah, Quantum Break looks pretty interesting. As far as gameplay goes, we didn't really get too much or what it's actually going to be about. But graphics, of course, look fantastic. And it seems like all these things that they got released out here were basically just kind of showing off the graphics of the system and the power that it has. So
yeah.
I mean, is this a game you guys think you'd be interested in? I mean, it's hard to say really this early on. I guess.
What kind of gameplay it is? That's the only problem.
Yeah, from the short little scenes that we saw, looks cool, I guess. But yeah, don't know.
Yeah. All right. The next thing that got talked about wasn't necessarily a game per se, but it was the Halo TV series. But we already talked about that a little bit.
I wasn't here for that, but
so I was going to say, there were some people that weren't here for that, so if you guys want to, for the people that weren't here, if you want to chime in your 2 cents about what you think of it, then go ahead. I believe that's Micky and Slowa and blueamcat. I think you three were not here for our initial discussion, so if you want to say your opinions of it real quick.
I don't really need to say
Hold on, I'm buying Alan Wake.
I honestly, my opinion of that is about freaking time. And second thing is Steven Spielberg. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I mean, it's going to be good. That's all I can really say.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to know where the auditions are at, though.
Well, maybe you need to go audition.
There is a casting couch involved.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
No. Yeah, that was
That'd be cool. I would go sign up.
Yeah, it's also kind of funny because like I was as soon as that happened, I tweeted BS Angel. I'm like ... You guys rock.
Yeah.
I mean,
I tweeted at her. I tweeted at her. I'm really excited.
When we were hanging out with them probably at PAX, and they just such great news.
So something that I wanted to kind of at least touch on that I didn't before when we were talking about it, just because of how hectic and how off tangent that we got with the initial discussion. But how close are we to an actual Halo movie at this point? Because we had the live action series with Forward Unto Dawn. Now we have this with a TV series. It's like, are we just that much more closer to an inevitable Halo movie?
I think so. Because it's like
we have Steven Spielberg
freaking on one step, one step closer, and so that makes it to where it'll get more of a fan base of people that don't play games and everything. So they'll just like it for the show itself. So then they'll want a movie, just to be able to watch, more of Halo. So
right.
That's a good point.
I'm going to be that one guy who said that they don't want a Halo movie because you cannot contain how much awesome is in Halo in 3 hours. I would much rather have the TV series because most shows are 14 episode, 44 minutes. That's plus or minus, 9 hours, 10 hours. Rather have that.
Yeah.
If it's
done,
there are certain
production value of a movie.
Well, if they don't go too, they don't try to cram everything in Halo, in the Halo universe, in one movie. If they just make it to where it can, leave the first movie or something where it can have a second one, to kind of continue, then that would be better. Just don't try to, do everything or close to everything in the movie. But
the thing with having the movie is, though, if you look at Forward to Dawn, it was basically a movie. It was just broken up. The way they presented it when you buy it on Blu-ray or DVD, it was basically like a movie. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for doing a Halo movie and it being really well done. And I mean, for goodness sakes, we have Steven Spielberg behind the TV series.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but I just want to see a Covenant just come out. That's a new Covenant, and it's just E.T. phone home.
RB phone home.
Have E.T. in the back.
Cortana.
That'd be awesome.
So
Yeah,
it's Jen, you have your thoughts on Halo TV? The TV series?
I had no idea it was coming, and it kind of took me by surprise. But I'm kind of excited about it. And they said it was going to be premium or whatever, so it's probably going to be for gold members only. I'm guessing, but
I'm thinking what they mean by premium is just pretty much exclusive content for the next Xbox service. Although it wouldn't surprise me if they do make it to where you have to have gold in order to watch it. It wouldn't surprise me.
That would make sense too.
Exclusive. That's another shot in that drinking game.
Oh yeah, I saw Chewy posted that earlier on his Twitter.
It was funny.
It ended up being 7 shots. It was a fun game.
Really, just 7.
But yeah, you talk about it being exclusive, but they specifically call it a TV show. So how can it be specific to the console if it's also going to be on television?
Because the console is not a gaming console, it's an entertainment console.
Yeah, but what about people that don't have cable? Like myself, I just use Netflix and Hulu Plus for everything.
I think what it's going to be is just kind of like how, I know this isn't a great comparison, but how Spartan Ops, came every single week on Halo 4, except this will come every single week on the dashboard, or something like that, on the Xbox itself. That's what I was thinking, kind of what it will be.
It'll probably be whenever you have your cable subscription and you subscribe to those extra packages, it's probably kind of like that extra package that you would subscribe to, kind of thing. Except in this case, it would be free as long as you have gold or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. It better not be extra.
And talking about what Jen said on the, took her by surprise about the whole thing. I'm shocked Microsoft kept everything completely, where nothing was leaked, or at least most nothing was leaked. So they did an amazing job at that.
Yeah. I was amazed that nothing, at least I didn't hear anything until today. I was wow, they did a really good job with that.
Well, I think the one thing was the always online thing, and we'll talk about that here in a few minutes.
The only thing that I saw that was kind of leaked was, I don't know, I'm pretty sure all of you guys saw the quote unquote pictures of the new Xbox beforehand, they were that.
Actually, I didn't.
It kind of resembled it really closely, actually. Not 100% and not dead on, but.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really didn't see any concept art or pictures beforehand that actually looked what they revealed today. For me personally.
No, there's one. It's got the Xbox logo on the top, and it was the band went all the way around. It just kind of looked similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little. I mean, it's definitely square, and I like that a lot better. But nothing.
I like how the console looks
anyway. Yeah, me too. I like it a lot.
Everybody's it looks like a VCR. I'm like, Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that is something that you could put in an entertainment center, and it doesn't look like it's a game system. It looks like it's an entertainment thing, which is
right. Which is what they're going for.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Continuing on the games list. The next one down here is all the EA Sports stuff. And actually, that was the first one. I went out of order there. But EA Sports. So all the new things that they're doing with the new game engine. I forget the 3 things that they touted for their new gaming system. But it's like... has to do with having additional detail in their game engines to where all the actions and the collision stuff is a lot more refined, a lot more realistic. Does anyone have those in front of them?
I'm trying to remember them. It was intelligence was one of them.
Human intelligence was one, that's right.
There was environment, or real environment or something. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Stream, help us out.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Stream, help us out if you can.
Yeah, but also about that, man, how about the little reflections and stuff like that on the football helmets?
Oh, that was wow.
It looked amazing. That's what I took out of the EA Sports stuff. I was like, man, those reflections.
I mean,
Yeah,
from
I
what
don't
I could
really play stuff
from
like
what I could
that.
tell from all the gameplay footage that they showed off, it seems like the colors are still. You can still tell it's virtual just because of how the colors are, but in terms of the detail, it is surprisingly detailed.
Yeah. And just imagine what it'll be later on in the Xbox One's life. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it'll just keep getting better and better.
With the newest version of Madden on the 360, do they have the quarterbacks and some of the other guys wearing the C patch on their jerseys? With the stuff, because that was the one thing I noticed in the Madden gameplay that they showed, was like they even had the little patches that the captains wear. No one else noticed that?
Yeah, no.
I'm not a big football person, so I didn't specifically look out for it, but I would be sure with how much detail they're putting into this new engine that they would.
Yeah, it just that kind of surprised me. Like, not only, you know, I don't know if it's in the latest version. I don't really play Madden, but I was very surprised that not only did who was Robert Griffin III? Is that the guy who was in the interview before Yeah, I'm still not sure why that interview was there, but yeah, like not only did they have him with the captain patch, like it looked real, like it didn't look like a virtual jersey on a virtual guy. Like it looked like real uniforms and real gear on top of virtual people.
Yeah.
And it looked great. I just wish they didn't have him scoring on the Cowboys.
I unfortunately
But it makes sense.
enjoyed the fact that scoring on the Cowboys.
Well, they made it more, realistic. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the what they were talking about with one of the things was the fact that they could change it individually. Like, so I almost had the feeling like, is if one of the players, like, all of a sudden started doing really, really well, like, all of a sudden maybe that might actually transport over to the video game and, like, actually being able to increase their ability.
Never thought of that. That would be pretty awesome.
That's what I was thinking about. Like, because all of a sudden I'm like, I watch a lot of sports every once in a while, and like one of the things, like, let's say one of my favorite basketball players goes on a hot streak for like 4 games. I mean, couldn't they actually now incorporate that into the game and actually make it more immersive? Like, you just watch this guy do this, and now he's on a streak in your game.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that would make it a lot. I think that would make it a lot better. Sports games and stuff. It actually matters how the players play in real life.
Well, it seemed like...
Or if somebody got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so if they get injured, they take him out of the game until he's better?
Or no, just like have him injured. Like, you could have a realism mode where anything that happens in the game, that actually happens. Like, if you were about to go against somebody really good, like, let's say you're about to go against the Knicks in basketball, and all of a sudden Carmelo gets injured in an actual, like, in the real life, and in the game he gets taken out, and now he's on the injured reserve list. Like, actually have a realism mode.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
So where you're playing like in football, you'd still be playing the one game a week, but it's the same conditions and everything that that's interesting actually.
That's there was a part in it where they said something kind of like that, and I was like, if that's what goes on, then I might get into more sports games.
So yeah, what they I think you were talking about when they were showing off the fantasy stuff for NBA,
NFL.
Well, they also did the NBA also.
Well, yeah, that too.
They did both of them. But that's another thing that would bring in people that don't really play games. Like, that whole entertainment thing that they're, the all-in-one thing that they're going for is that fantasy things. Everything.
Well,
so you
that
can
is actually really cool, though.
Well, yeah, you can actually watch the game and real time it'll update your fantasy stats and everything like that. That's definitely...
Yeah, there is the asterisk, though, what service what fantasy football service will they let you check your stats on and all that?
I think it's going to be an additional charge for that, though, because that definitely seems like it'd be ESPN owned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Xbox, that money for me.
I mean, personally, for me, I don't do any of the fantasy league stuff.
Me either.
I'm not that into the sports side. I know some people are, and it's probably one of those really, really cool things to have.
Travis, the co-host at other co-host at Drunken Halo, it's a fantasy football freak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't listen to any other Halo podcast. He listens to nothing but fantasy football podcasts.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. As far as the rest of the EA stuff goes, they said they were basically premiering an NFL game, a FIFA game, an NBA game, and then the fighting one.
No, yeah, it was UFC, NFL,
FIFA,
and NBA. That's right. Yeah, you said NHL.
Oh, I thought I said NFL.
I don't. I thought it was interesting though that I had no idea FIFA outsold Madden. Although it makes sense.
Yeah, it's worldwide.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know why I was surprised to hear that. Because whenever he was talking about their most popular franchise or whatever, I was expecting to hear more about Madden. But then he said FIFA. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, FIFA
is the number one worldwide sport.
Yeah, and everywhere except America. Unless you're in Detroit like me. And then you actually hear about soccer.
There's quite a bit of soccer talk up in the New England area.
Here in Houston,
if you're in Detroit, Houston, or New England, then you know about soccer. Anywhere else, football.
I refereed soccer when I was in junior high and high school when I was still in Houston with my parents. So
instead of Houston, that's still the control.
I'm sure there's other places where they talk about soccer too, or technically football.
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 Talking about soccer.
You actually use your feet in football, not American football.
I'll give you your education lesson here.
Let them people played in football.
I actually learned this today. It's actually people over in the UK are the ones that changed it to where it was soccer. Watch if you ever seen Vsauce on YouTube. He's like a professor or something like that, but he actually makes very entertaining educational videos. And because of it's something with Oxford, they put ER like soccer at the end of everything. Like they call them like tenors, like they're $10 bills or whatever they call and stuff like that. And something with the soccer league over there or the football league over there, it has like association in it, and they shortened it down where it just has the SOC in association, so that it became soccer. So people always blame Americans for that whenever it was really UK. So
even though the UK calls it football now.
Yeah, it's very strange.
That is quite strange.
So nobody wins.
Yep.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Or UK, you thought we wouldn't find out.
All right. Finally, the other big game I think everyone is pretty excited for. I wasn't initially excited for this one, but after seeing the presentation, I'm open to seeing what they do with it. But the new Call of Duty Ghosts. Nope.
Sorry. Nope. I'm not a Call of Duty fan. I will give it that it has amazing graphics, and it is very interesting looking, but I I can't get behind Call of Duty. That's probably my lowest part of that entire presentation. But that's my personal preference.
So my personal problem with Call of Duty is the lacking of the story and how unbalanced multiplayer is. That's it for me. If they can fix one of those two things, I'll be interested. If they can fix both of those things, I'm sold.
Well, I will give it to you. I did play Black Ops, and I actually really liked the story in Black Ops. I thought it was very ingenious and very creative. But I mean, it's just I hate the honestly most of the player base in that game. It's like why I don't really enjoy playing League of Legends with a bunch of randoms anymore, because everybody's just so like cussing at everybody that's even on your team, and nobody knows how to play. Like, oh, you don't know how to play, and blah blah blah. Like that's why I like Halo is like you can get on and play with a bunch of really cool people, and they're completely random. You never probably will see them again even.
Yeah, that's one reason I don't like it either. I'm just like, ugh, so many people just yelling at you for no reason, and
you noob, you quick scoping noob.
Exactly.
Yeah, it seems like Call of Duty is where all the little kids go.
Yeah, and it's like with Call of Duty and stuff, and it's also in other games, but I'm mainly seeing Call of Duty, where if you use a sniper, even if it's a map that has a good sniper corridor, they're like yell at you for using a sniper or something like that. It's like, but that's what it's for, you know? But yeah, it's this Call of Duty Ghost. At first, I wasn't at all interested in it, but what made me somewhat interested, I still don't plan on buying it, but what made me somewhat interested, where I'm looking into it a little bit more, is puppies. I love dogs, and games like I love Fable with my dog and everything, so I like that.
It was interesting to see them do the mocap with...
Yeah, with the dog attacking that dude. Cool. That's pretty awesome. But then also the, the dynamic environments and stuff.
For the multiplayer. That was interesting.
Where, you could trigger, like it showed that the logs falling and everything like that, light post falling on the car and everything. That's definitely pretty cool. And they said some like floods, and I think they said earthquakes also.
Yeah, they did.
If that's a multiplayer, holy Christmas.
Yeah, and so
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what made me somewhat interested, like more interested in it, because of the fact that they're actually changing something up, and that's my problem with Call of Duty, is that to me it's just too much of the same thing over and over and over. And
that's the thing. I agree.
Well, they said during their presentation they wanted to pull back and actually do something right for a change instead of doing something safe.
Yeah.
And I have to give them at least somewhat respect for that, for not deciding to go out and just making Modern Warfare 2.75.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they could really be making Modern Warfare. What are they on 4? Modern Warfare 4, and it could just be another reskin with this new engine. I mean, but from what I saw, it looks different. It looks good.
Different, and that's why instead of now being not caring, I'm at least somewhat interested. I'm still not on the fence of buying it quite yet, but it is somewhat.
It intrigues you a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool, but
yeah, and also the customization of the characters, I do like that.
That tickles my fancy a little.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like that. I like customization in games, but I don't like how they talked about it as being new and innovative when games like Battlefield or Halo have been doing it for so long now.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Rainbow Six Vegas.
Rainbow Six, yeah. Yep.
Had it.
Halo 2.
Way better.
Yeah.
I can't wait for all the Call of Duty fans that do play the campaign. When that dog dies, the tears are going to be amazing.
Oh, shut up! I don't want to hear it.
I will
starting.
It's gonna happen.
Well, yeah, the dog. It'll be the part in the campaign where the character you play as doesn't have a gun, and the bad guy's holding a pistol to on you, and it suddenly goes into slow mo, and the dog slowly jumps up to jump in front of the bullet.
Yeah,
they wouldn't introduce that dog in a way that they did if they weren't going to kill him off.
Either that, or they're not going to kill the dog. They're going to kill the human, and the dog's going to be the one that survives.
You play as the dog. You play as the dog in the sequel.
Oh my gosh! Okami comes to Xbox.
All right,
and you switch between that dog and some British dog.
Some British dog.
Do zombie mode play as dogs? Maybe
that dog and a ghostly dog.
Yes.
I know one thing. If they announce the mocap suit skin as a pre-order bonus, I'm buying it.
Like a real one?
No, mocap suit skin for the dog in game.
Oh,
that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm still surprised that they were able to mocap a German Shepherd like that, and that he was chill with it.
And those German Shepherds, though, pretty much do whatever.
Yeah, but they can be trained very well, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're not taking, any old German Shepherd.
Yeah, just like seeing eye dogs. They're probably like trained for years before they can do any of that stuff anyway.
They're like the Master Chief of dogs.
Yeah.
Very well trained.
For Spartans, so there you go.
Yep.
Right.
Also with the, Ghost, they brought in that one director into it to help with the story and everything. So.
Yes.
Stephen Gagan.
Yeah, that's his name, yeah. So, that's a plus there. So hopefully it'll
Still
be
no Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Spielberg wins.
Yeah, but it's still, at least they're trying, to make it a little bit, they're trying to make it better. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably won't pre-order it unless I see something else that really changes my mind.
Another
That's the one
dog.
thing that upsets me, though, is because now I have to go change. I have to go change my Destiny pre-order. I gotta go change my Battlefield 4 pre-order.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed pre-order. It's like, no!
Oh, did they announce Assassin's Creed 4 for the...
Assassin's Creed.
Ubisoft
The actual
did.
Assassin's Creed was all over Twitter saying that it's coming out for
Yeah.
next gen.
Oh, I only saw Watch Dogs, which I have to go pre-order now.
No, I saw it like 6 or 7 times saying on Twitter that it was both games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Joystick had Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Battlefield 4, Destiny, and Call of Duty confirmed, and Forza.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one out of that list really I care about right now is Destiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god,
And
what if
unfortunately,
Destiny had
nothing
dogs?
Destiny!
Tiger Man was
Yeah.
so close. Bungie, put him back in.
I wish they would have had some Destiny,
I
just
bet
something
you
in there.
DLC.
But it'll probably
I think
be
the problem with Destiny, though, is if they had put it on there, then a lot of the people would just look at it and say, well, PlayStation just did that. That was their big thing when they spoiled on their console release. So you're just copying it.
You mean their controller release? Not really.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
It's okay because during this press conference, Bungie figures out what to do with their hands. It's happened to everyone that works on Halo because Bungie did it too. If you touch
Fair
Halo,
enough.
you don't know what to do with your hands during a press conference.
Except for what's her name? The one from 343 that was there today.
Bonnie Ross?
Yes. Sorry, I'm horrible at names.
It's okay.
The Bonds.
Honey Ross is amazing.
The Bonds
You
on
ever meet her, she's so awesome.
No, she wasn't at PAX this year.
No, she wasn't at East.
She was at Prime last year.
I can't wait for Prime. Can't wait for Prime.
Prime will be
109 days,
nice.
but who's counting?
Shut up.
Moving on.
I still have to save enough money to make it there.
Yeek.
Play a drinking game when we get there. Take a shot for every day that we had to count down to PAX.
Oh dear.
I'm not counting yet, so
okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta say, but every time in the first day that Green Skull says awesome.
Yes! Yes!
You will be dead within the hour.
Yep.
Everyone
All
will be
right.
passed out.
Moving
If
on
you're listening,
to
if you're listening, Green, I'm very sorry.
moving on to the last things, at least from what they talked about in the actual reveal. There's still a couple other topics we'll hit on before we wrap up, but they said that there's going to be a total of 15 exclusive titles that get released on the Xbox One within its first year, and 8 of those are going to be new IPs. So what do you guys think about that?
I'm actually more curious about what the 7 are going to be.
You mean 8?
No,
eight?
the 7.
Hooray
The
for
I
seven
wonder what the other
remakes?
7 are going to
other
be.
7. I thought you meant
So Forza
Forza,
5.
whatever.
Forza 5 is already there because Forza is an exclusive one. Quantum Break. Did they say that was Xbox exclusive?
No, they didn't say that.
Okay. So
So that
Forza
one's
is the only
over.
one that we know is for sure a redo.
Assume it's a Halo game.
Halo is going to be a game that's going to be out first year, whether it's Halo Wars 2 or Halo 2 Remake or whatever.
Halo Wars 2.
Oh gosh, Halo 2 Remake would be so gorgeous.
And also remember the first year is all the way up until next Christmas after this one.
Yeah.
So that could possibly even be Halo 5, every 2 years.
Yeah.
No, that's every 3 years. Halo.
They said every
Halo
3 years.
trilogy is every 3 years. Yeah, I think they basically said that at Halo Fest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they haven't gone a year without releasing some sort of Halo title for the past since 2000.
Yeah, so you have Halo Wars 2 and Halo 2 Remake.
ODST 2.
Or some kind of ODST thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Starting pretty good here.
But, yeah.
What do you think the chances are that they start a Spartan Ops Season 2 but make it a standalone game?
Not likely.
I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want to spend money on it.
I wouldn't mind paying for Spartan Ops Season 2 and Halo 4, but having it as a separate game is not something I would think would be a smart move.
I
would pay $30 for a second season of Spartan Ops, personally.
That's setting it too high.
For 10 episodes, for 8 new environments, and a whole freaking new season?
If they actually have, for each level, something new, it's not just rehashed from previous episode, then I'd be okay with that.
Right, well, I'm talking about something that would be a new story and a new environment like ODST was, just continuing the Spartan Ops storyline. I didn't mean, go fight here, defend this area, and then go on to the next episode.
Yeah, you're saying like ODST, but Spartan Ops characters and stuff.
Will there be buttons?
43 of them.
Sold, double sold, take my money.
Yeah. I don't know, I'd be okay with that if they did Spartan Ops, but like how ODST was, where it's it's standalone story and stuff, not where you just, as you were saying, defend this area or whatever. It's actual levels and stuff.
Right.
I'd be okay
Yeah,
with it.
actually,
One of my favorite stories.
So that pretty much wraps up for the actual briefing that they gave. There's a couple other things I want to touch on real quick. First one is our friends list is now going to be 1,000.
Finally.
Increased friends list size.
That's gonna
It's
fill
over
out.
9,000. That's all that
gonna
matters.
fill out. Then we're gonna need it at 10,000.
Oh gosh.
I'll see me filling up.
I can see me filling
1,000.
1,000.
I mean, but but you have to think, what kind? Are you going to really keep people on there that you never play with? I know for me, for Facebook.
The reason why I would, and the only reason why I have 100 friends right now, is because I don't want to constantly get friend requests. Because if I deleted people off, there's one time I deleted all the way down to 25 people, people I actually somewhat know or I play with and everything. And then within a week, I'm already completely full back of friend requests. So that's the reason why I always just have the full 100. And so I'm sure, eventually I will hit that 1,000 and, so I won't have to deal with any more friend requests. I hope they have some way of locking it where I don't want to accept friend requests and stuff. So that would be nice. So
yeah, I pared my friends list down to less than 15. I just hate getting notifications of people being online that I really don't care about.
Yeah. I hope you can also have
getting 999 more of them.
but if you have if you're able to have the 1,000 friends, and let's say you do have 600 or something, I hope you have some way of grouping your personal friends, the ones you actually play with. They'll group, and so they'll always show up at the top, no matter what. You can favorite them or something.
Wasn't that a clan system on the original Xbox or something, or was that?
No, that was just Halo 2.
That was Halo 2, which
that would be a kind of a cool way to do though, having a group.
Yeah, just a favorite deal or something where you can put a little star next to their name.
So what I'm wondering, because the Xbox 360 Live system isn't going to just go away, but I have a feeling the new Xbox Live system is just going to expand on the new one. I was assuming all the friends that you currently have are going to transfer over to your new Xbox Live experience.
Yeah.
They confirmed that your gamer tag and gamer score and achievements will transfer along with your Xbox Live subscription.
That's good.
I'm assuming it includes friends list.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Well, so
holding
in
my
that
breath.
1,000, I'm guessing there's going to be a way where you can delineate which of those 1,000 you want to be legacy friends. I would assume.
Yeah, there has to be something because you don't want to scroll through. Like, let's say, that's where I'm going, to look at your name or something on there. I don't want to. What if I have a whole bunch of, friends before you? I don't want to have to scroll through 100 people just to get to your name. So there has to be some way of where you can favorite people.
That's probably going to be where that Connect integration comes in very, very handy.
Oh yeah, true. You just be like, Dust Storm.
Go to Dust Storm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Xbox, go to people I like.
Yes.
Yeah. So they'll probably have something because that would get really annoying.
I mean, like they said, they basically made Connect as kind of the integral part into the whole experience for Xbox, which still kind of ticks me off a little bit because I don't see Connect as being that centerpiece of the console, but
yeah, I see it as just something extra.
Yeah,
just something there that you can do if you want. Which I think it's not going to be like they're making it to be some huge thing and everything. But I think it'll just kind of be just there on the side. It's not going to be as focused as what they make it out to be.
Man, do I have really bad news for you. So, I'm Polygon, and I saw it on IGN earlier, is that the Xbox One will not work unless you have the Kinect plugged in.
Really?
And the Kinect is always listening, even when it's turned off.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
That's confirmed.
That's really creepy. Also, on Polygon...
You can't turn me off, Dave.
Put a towel
the
over
USB
it
3.0 on the back is for external storage.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Huh.
Where'd you find that?
Maybe an external hard drive?
Polygon. I'll throw it in the chat real quick.
Oh, I see it.
Okay, sweet.
Pew!
If they did that, then that's perfect.
Yeah, and I wonder how much though. Like if it's however much you want, or
Okay, guys. I don't mean to kind of run all of a sudden, but we have a really bad thunderstorm, and I keep on getting really fuzzy feedback. So I'm just gonna go for now.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, Mick.
Be safe, Mick.
Yep.
Stay safe.
Nice talking to you guys. Have a
Tell
good
Bryce
one.
I hate him.
Later.
Oh, he already knows. Bye, everyone.
Later.
Good night. So on top of the 1,000 friends list, there is the quote unquote always on, not quite always on requirement for the Xbox. It's been clarified to the point where it has to be checked in online at least every 24 hours.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of stupid. Because I know quite a few people who just play Xbox or single player and they're not always connected to online.
I don't get though, what is the point?
I don't know.
And also, what is the, I don't know how to say it, but I know we talked about it a little bit earlier, but what if you're gone, you're away or something, you go on vacation or something and, you don't bring your Xbox and stuff. And it's so of course they're not going to, hurt those people that do that. It's not going to all of a sudden, oh, you can't play your Xbox once you come back, but it's so what exactly is it doing on that?
Well, if it's always on, even if you leave for vacation, as long as your internet connection is still up, it should be able to go and contact the server on its own.
True.
But what if I'm paranoid and I delete all my systems from the internet?
What if you unplug everything?
Well, the stuff will probably still be on your hard drive. It's just in order to access it, it needs to get in touch with the servers first.
Well,
so, if you downloaded, let's say you downloaded a games on demand version of Halo 4, and you tried to open it, if it hasn't touched the server in a week or whatever they said it was, then it's not like it'll delete, but it won't let you play it until it gets verified with the server. Is what I'm guessing.
What if I just have the disc?
That's not too bad. I mean, yeah, the real question is, what's the penalty for not connecting within 24 hours or whatever the time frame is?
It turns into a very fancy paperweight.
Yeah, does it explode like a James Bond note or something?
I figured it just wouldn't do anything. By the time you get back on, and you actually connect, to the internet or whatever, it'll just do whatever it does. It'll let's say you're gone for a week, it'll, let's say, I don't know, update for a week, whatever it does whenever it connects, That may be what it is. It's just all the updates. Like
my guess is just gonna check behind the scenes for pirated software and whatnot. I don't think.
But here's another thing. What about LAN and tournament stuff? Do you expect those people to go connect all those Xboxes to the internet every single night?
But no, they said once a week, right?
No, it's 24 hours.
I don't think it's like what I was saying, or what Chewy was also saying. It's just like checking for pirated stuff or checking it. Like maybe it's updating itself. Like updates little small updates on the dashboard that, behind the scenes stuff. Like what if that's the 24-hour things that it does? It's nothing, major or anything. It's just something like that.
Well, what if it's, I don't know, they didn't mention they were using like the cloud. They didn't really specify what that was exactly, but maybe that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's updating stuff from
that's
Xbox to other stuff.
Just updates and like let's say you don't for a week, then once you do come back and you do connect back to the internet, then it'll just update for that week right then.
That's fine, but that still doesn't require an online connection, where it seems like this one does, even just to play a game.
I don't know. That's one of those confusing things. We'll just have to wait till we get more clarification on everything.
How terrible would it be if, like, you don't have the internet and you can play your game, but you can't save?
That would be old school games right there. No save. Oh.
Yeah, like,
that would be
Mario, right?
You just play through, and if you win, you win. If you don't, well, try again.
Yeah.
Last topic before we wrap this up or ask the live stream for questions is used games, which is kind of similar onto the whole another little topic which I need to bring up too. But as far as used game go, Major Nelson posted on his blog that basically saying they do have a plan to enable people to trade in and sell used games. So I think that market is still somewhat in jeopardy though, because at least with GameStop, it's like, okay, if you want to resell your games, you're going to have to sell it back at this price point, which is probably going to be, if you buy it for like 60, you're maybe going to be able to sell it back for maybe like 15 or something like that. And then they'll resell the game for like $40, $50. So basically, if you sell it, you're basically doing a ripoff anyways, and then people are probably going to buy it again at full price to unlock the
game.
Yeah.
So are you unlocking it on your console or to your gamer tag?
To your gamer tag. Because Microsoft said if you're on your profile and you're playing at a friend's house, then they don't charge a fee.
Well, I think it's both. I think it's similar how the licensing thing works now, where whenever you download a piece of content, you get two licenses. One that's a console license and one that is a gamertag license.
Okay. Chewy just put in the chat, Phil Harrison discussed many potential scenarios around games on Xbox One. Today we have only confirmed that we designed Xbox One to enable our customers to trade in and resell games at retail. There have been reports of a specific time period. Those were discussions of potential scenarios, but we have not confirmed any detail today, nor will we be. So, wait and see, I guess.
Yep. More waiting.
There's still a lot of stuff here, but the thing is, they put this kind of information out, people are going to speculate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't just, like, not put out information and be like, oh, well, we haven't really said anything. People should know better. No, that's not how it works. People are going to speculate, and that's going to drive demand a certain way or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they know that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're aware of all the, crazy crap, I guess, that was going on with that dude who ended up getting let go. I'm totally blanking on his name.
I don't remember what his name was either.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
They know that this is something that people are, very interested in, and very, up to this point has been, even though they didn't release any info. It was still very, controversial, somehow, even though it's not out. But, yeah, so I'm just wondering if they're not quite 100% sure that, the path that they want to take is like maybe they're just finishing up like the paperwork, in terms of signatures or negotiations with, a few different developers or, publishers or whatever, or maybe they just want, they want that to be a headlining, topic in their E3 thing, or if they don't have any, the road they decide to take isn't really going to be looked on as generally favorable, so they will release that type of info, just as press releases and nothing more, so it gets as little press as possible, whereas versus them doing it at the E3 presentation, if it's going to get them booed on stage, I'm sure that they'd rather just release it as a press release and hope that it goes over okay. I don't know.
Yeah, not on a stage to the entire world at one time.
Yeah, I just think they need to definitely keep in mind that they, you can, there's totally a fork in the road where they could either take the road where they are just trying to make the developers and publishers and all those people happy, and then the other part is keeping us happy, and making it, not putting too crazy of a DRM type of system in there, make it too, not giving us a lot of room to work with whenever all we want to do is play a game, right?
Yeah.
Just because the developers want a lot of hoops, for us to jump through, that doesn't really make it the right thing to do. I mean, the thing that made iTunes so popular was that, that's what Apple did, was they just made it easy to do, and they didn't let the technology get in the way of people paying them, and, the ease of use thing too.
Yeah. Same thing with the iPhone on that. iPhone's a lot simpler to use, even though to me there's better phones out there. But iPhone has very easy use.
Well,
So.
But if you look at the different music stores that were around before the iTunes music store, was that a thing, and the different MP3 players before, it was all crazy. Each record label had their own online store, and there were so many hoops that they expected you to jump through. They didn't make it easy for you to give them your money. And that was why the iTunes store was, that's why it is what it is because it made it easy for you to give the record labels your money, and it let, Apple didn't let the technology get in the way of people just wanting to buy music.
Yeah.
And I think that with something like this, once you start adding in the whole, has to go touch a server once a day or week. I don't know why I heard week earlier. But, whenever, okay, but if, anything past that, I think is gonna leave a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
Which someone talking about that, the daily thing, someone did say in the chat that, it said it only uploads all your saves over the past 24 hours to the server. That's what he was saying, at least, with that. It has to connect per 24 hours. So it kind of updates, I guess, your saves into servers. So that's that way. So let's say if you are gone for a week, you won't have, and you did play, let's say you don't have an internet connection or anything like that. So it won't update your saves into the servers. But if you do have an internet connection, it updates them every 24 hours.
Have they said anything about flash drives with this? Because I was just kind of thinking about it, trying to plug a flash drive into the front of one of these new Xbox Ones.
Well, if they're supporting the external
game set.
If they're supporting the external storage, then yeah, I would assume so.
where would they? They're not making it easy for them to plug in. I guess there's that port on the top, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking of having to plug something in the back, going in the
back,
rear.
yeah.
To plug it in every time. I did, some people might not be into that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, consensual.
Yes.
All right. So
Xbox, do you consent?
Wow. So last thing, and then we'll open the floor up to questions from the chat room for a few minutes. But is this thing where if you do take a game over to a friend's house, or the case I bring up is like if you have multiple consoles in one family, and if you have like maybe one gamer tag per family member, then that means that one copy of whatever game that you get is not going to suffice on working for everybody on every console. You're going to have to pay fees out the wazoo. And I'm thinking if you have a family of like maybe 2 parents and 2 kids that are gamers, that means that on one console you're going to be able to install it just fine. Everyone is going to be able to play it. But on that other console, you're going to have to pay that fee for installing whatever that fee is 3 different times.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to think about it. If you have families with multiple Xboxes and stuff like that, chances are that people want to play together. Split screen is almost all but dead. So parents now are probably buying 2 copies of the game anyway. So you have to think about it. If they could buy 1 full copy for $60, hopefully $50, and then pay $20-$30 to install it on the other Xbox and have your other kid play it, I think that's kind of an improvement.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Actually.
I think they're just trying to take away from the used game market sales and get some of that money back. They're not worried about people. They're not worried about there being used games out there, but they need to see something from that.
But yeah, the problem
But
though
if you
is
buy a copy of a game as a family, you're still getting penalized, and you're having to pay that fee just to have it be able to play on other consoles for other family members. Because I mean, say if the father of the house is the one that buys the game and he goes home or goes away for a weekend or something, and then the mom and the kid wants to play. Well,
if it's for the household, then they play on that Xbox.
Yeah, but what if that Xbox that it was installed in was in like a lounge room or a bedroom or something, and then they want to play on the TV out in the living room instead?
Move the Xbox?
Well, they're saying also like
you want to move that Xbox every time you want to play it?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to spend the undetermined amount of money, then yeah, I think moving the Xbox 20 feet or a room away would be the alternative, right?
And I think what he was kind of saying is, what if like I know once Aiden probably grows up, my son, he'll probably be somewhat of a great gamer, just like me and everything. But it's like, what if he has his own gamer tag, his own gamer score, everything like that? I buy game. And, I'm playing it on my Xbox and stuff. And then he is like, oh, can I play that? And so he goes on his gamer tag on his Xbox. So that's where that problem comes in.
I mean, chances are if you wanted to play together with your son anyway, you would have to buy a second copy of that game. Now, playing alone, I can understand.
It's not necessarily playing together,
what if it's like Skyrim, where there's no, multiplayer or anything like that?
Right. Well, I mean... you have to draw the line somewhere. I can understand that people want all the freedom, but sometimes you can't have it that way. It sucks for the consumer, but I mean, that's not the situation for most people, at least.
Well, yeah, it's gonna suck, though, partially because, I know I give some of my games to let my sister-in-law, she plays and everything, so. If that is the case, then she'll have to pay, a fee or whatever to just be able to play it. So, I don't know. We'll have to see.
What really upset me is if I have to pay to play one of my roommate's games or a used game, and then there's an online pass on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
That would frustrate the heck out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much if you most likely pay that fee to just play it. And then you got to pay an online pass. You might as well just buy the game new,
Yeah, that whole mess. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up our talks and topics that we want to talk about, BioWolf has a question in the chat. He says, since the Xbox One is going to have a Blu-ray drive, do you think we're going to see longer campaigns?
I would like it, or at least more detailed, like more stuff to do in the campaigns. You know, I would prefer a longer campaign, especially with Halo and stuff. I would like a 20-hour campaign. That'd be awesome. As long as it stays fresh, like it just doesn't get, you know, bland. It's like the same repetitive level over and over. I would enjoy it, you know, and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but you have so much more room, just like with movies. Like, you have so much more room for music and graphics and, you know, everything. Yeah. Like, for Halo, they split up the discs because there wasn't enough room for the matchmaking and stuff, so.
When you're going from a disc that used to be able to only hold 9 gigs to a disc that now can hold 50 gigs.
Yeah, it's drastically.
A huge jump.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the graphics just from the game presentations today, and oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I can't wait. Like, and that's, again, I know I said this earlier, and that's from the, like, first generation of the Xbox One games, you know? So, later on, like Halo 4, it looks amazing compared to what the, you know, other games used to look like.
So, you brought up the term first generation. What do you think our Red Ring of Death is going to be for this Xbox?
I remember someone saying blue screen of death now. So
yeah, since it is based off the Windows kernel.
Yeah,
you might have to boot in the DOS.
My husband saw that and he was like, "Oh, that's not good." He's not really a Windows fan, though.
Either.
Windows 7. Windows 7 is where it's at. Windows 8 is... It works for tablets and mobile platforms, but not for desktops or laptops.
Yeah, definitely.
I know BioWolf brought up another thing with the... which this is all what I'm all about, is a giant map for, like, Forge and stuff. Things like that in Halo. Is, you know, like, the possibilities with things of Halo now that it's on Blu-ray so it can hold a ton more information.
And the dedicated servers.
Yeah, and the dedicated servers. So I really do like
up the player count. Up the player count.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hold on, dedicated servers confirmed?
Yeah, that was that 300,000 servers that they were talking about deploying for this. Oh, that's right. You weren't here for this part of the show.
For 360, it's just
I missed the first 15 minutes of the press conference.
Yeah, right now, and for 360, it's just 15,000 servers, and they're going to have 300,000.
Oh man, I'll be right back. New pants.
And so, you know, like, I just look at that, like, you know, for me, since I'm all about Forge and custom maps and everything in Halo, the possibilities of, you know, Forge Island is, I think it was like 4 times bigger than Forge World or something like that. But of course it didn't have all the detail because of the fact that I think they said that it just couldn't handle the detail of something like Forge World with all the cliffs and the rocks and everything, you know, in there, being that big and stuff. So can't imagine what they might possibly be able to do, you know, for a like Forge World type of thing, you know, in Halo 5, whenever it comes out on the Xbox One.
Forge Universe.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You can actually go into space.
Planet.
That'd be great. Just keep flying up. Take you about an hour to fly all the way to space. You can make it.
Space.
Yeah.
Space. I'm in space.
And
space.
It would just be interesting to be able to see that. So.
Yeah. Any more questions from the chat room? Last call for those.
They were saying, you know, higher player count. Yeah.
Yeah, would higher player count ruin the Halo feel? I think in like certain playlists you would want to keep the player count down the kind of what it is now, but I would love to see big open vehicle battles.
Yeah. Like something like double the size of, you know, Hemorrhage or something like that, you know.
Yeah, and just like all out tank.
2 Hemorrhages next to each other, you know.
Banshee Falcon warfare.
The destructiveness of Frostbite in the Halo engine.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome.
That'd That'd be great. Like, that would be awesome. Like, have, I think pushing it too much to where it's like 64 players, I think that would be a little bit too much for Halo. But
I would be happy
okay
personally with just 20.
I would be, I was
or
going to
24.
say about, 24, so it's 12 on 12. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, or even like 3 teams in big team battle. That'd be sweet.
Yeah. That would be
Or
pretty cool.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Multi-big team battle? That'd be awesome.
Yes. Exactly.
I'd bring a new, have 3 tanks on there, or 4 teams, have 4 tanks, on each team, so you got to watch all sides, not just straight in front of you.
Can you imagine the kill counts though? Oh my gosh.
That'd be great.
Still wouldn't help me.
Okay.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't quite understand with the whole Xbox Live and matchmaking side was, what are they talking about? It can connect you with matches instantly or while you're doing something else?
Yeah.
I didn't quite understand that either. They were talking about how you would be able to, or how it'd be able to refine the matchmaking experience while you're doing all these other things.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
I didn't understand what they meant by that.
From what I understand, it's you can hop into matchmaking, but then you can multitask that to whatever application like Netflix while you are still looking for that game.
Yeah, you got to remember that matchmaking in some games is not as streamlined as it is in Halo, so it won't take like 10 seconds.
Yeah. Or if it keeps trying to kick you back to the main menu like Halo 4, you can just be like, oh, I never noticed that because I was watching Archer. Yeah!
I was thinking also that it would kind of save your settings a little bit. Like, let's say you go into another game or you're on the dashboard watching, I don't know, YouTube or whatever, but it has your settings from like previous Halo games and stuff on what you want. And so next time you jump into a Halo game, it already knows what you're looking for.
So that was that whole identity thing that they were talking about when they were doing the Kinect and being able to recognize your controller and being able to pick up your game save by identifying that controller.
Maybe what if it just, recognizes what you wanted in a search, so it would search for those things like once you jump into Halo.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Gosh, we didn't even talk about the dash that much either.
Yeah. Windows 8 looking type of thing.
Well, the whole snap feature, things that you pull the snaps in, I do like the fact that the home screen is now a little bit more customized to what your experience has been and not full of all that other promotional and ads.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I do like that kind of interface a lot better.
Yeah. And I like that grab thing that he did with the
That was
screen.
Awesome.
That was pretty cool. And it actually
on that
keeps
thing.
playing. It actually keeps playing in the smaller window.
Yeah.
So if, you want to check, I don't know, just something on the normal dashboard, you're like, oh yeah, I want to go down Alan Wake. Go download Alan Wake. So, you just shrink the screen,
Yeah,
the gestures were really, really cool.
Yeah. So it'd be pretty interesting.
It'd be interesting to see how they actually work with somebody actually doing it.
Yeah. Because, that wasn't live.
Yeah, the moment that totally just stuck out to me was whenever he pulled out his phone and just hit a couple, things on it without hardly looking at the phone.
Put it right back in his pocket, like it was nothing. It's like, you're never like that. Oh, and someone said on Skype, they were like, you could tell the Skype was fake because the first thing you do whenever you go into Skype is, can you hear me? You get on, you're like, hello, can you hear me?
The Skype conversation was so, I hated that part of the movie. It was so poorly written.
Yeah.
You get Stephen Gaghan.
Those things usually aren't, those things are just usually scripted. They're not like actual recordings, but I think that was probably actually done live.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
There's probably reading off of a script, but I think that was probably done live.
I think it was done with the script pre-recorded.
I don't know, because
everything else was pre-recorded. Why would you still do a live Skype call?
All the Kinect stuff. You know how many times he said Xbox One or Xbox in there?
I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Kinect would constantly be popping up, going, "What? You want me to do something?" Every single time he says it.
Yeah, that's true. Just like my Xbox would pick it up and try to turn off.
Yeah.
It would try to go to the dashboard 4 times. I was like, no, don't do it.
No.
I want to watch this.
Solid Oxygen asks, is Bungie new game going to be for Xbox One? The answer to that is yes. They did tweet out earlier saying that it was going to be available on Xbox One. Man Cannon wants to know, where is Waldo?
I do not know.
Waldo's right there. Found him for you.
Hiding in one of the 300,000 dedicated servers.
Yep.
There you go.
Mystery of the universe solved. Did we mention at all the name
for
Xbox One?
Xbox One.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talked about that at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I came in a little bit.
We definitely mentioned it before you got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just saying it's okay.
Jack Fire Dragon wants to know from each of us, without bias, Xbox One or PS4 at this point.
Well,
I'll take the Xbox because I didn't even look into the PlayStation.
I would just take the Xbox just because, you know, it's the games, you know, like Halo and stuff, you know, I can't. But on just hardware itself or just like apps and things like that, I would still do the Xbox because, I don't know, I just like all the Xbox stuff. And I actually enjoy the Kinect, you know, so. And especially since it comes with it, you don't have to pay an extra whatever, $150 for it. You know, at least a separate fee later on. You know, then, you know, I'm fine with it. So.
Yeah, definitely have to say Xbox for me too. Not because I'm totally biased, because I am, but the games, I don't know, they've pulled me in a while ago, and I'm just kind of more of a fan of the games that are available for Xbox. So that's my choice.
I'd have to
Well,
agree.
that's where all my friends are too.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
it's the friends, true. Totally.
Didn't even think about my friends. So
this might be a little biased panel to ask. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
well, I mean, you have to look at the facts, all right?
Xbox Live oriented.
Xbox Live has been proven to be awesome. I mean, and that's where we already are now. Also, man, the biggest thing Xbox over PlayStation 4 is the controller. PlayStation, they still put the joysticks in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
you know, I was thinking about that. Yeah,
can't stand the joysticks on PlayStations.
Oh, it's like you got to break your thumbs to be able, if you're trying to do a game.
That's the thing. A lot of people complain also about the monthly cost, you know, or the yearly cost of gold and stuff. But it's like that's why I think we have such a great, you know, Xbox Live and everything is because of the fact we also are paying into it. Compared to PlayStations is
They just need to stop showing us commercials.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a couple months ago I saw like a CoverGirl or something ad on the dashboard?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's CoverGirl or some makeup.
Well, they thought you needed some makeup. That'd be nice if they did want to have an ad, like they look at what games you play or something, you know, and then they incorporate kind of like what they do for YouTube. At least most of the time on YouTube and stuff, like the ads that are on my channel, at least most of the time are more based on what, you know, like games and things that my channel is related to.
Yeah.
So that'd be at least if they wanted to do an ad and stuff on the dashboard, it'd be better to have something that, you know, would actually make you go, oh, look at that.
Something not completely random.
Yeah.
See, I was kind of thinking before, you know, this announcement that they might take Xbox Live in that direction where you can pay for it and you don't get ads and you get, you know, a few more things like access to maybe apps or something, or let people still play multiplayer games without paying for Live, but show them ads so that way you're still making money off of them.
Yeah.
And
I can see that as being a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that so
Because
people
then you get rid of all the haters.
Yeah.
You know, saying, oh my gosh, it costs so much money.
Yeah, that way, you know, you're with, you know, PR and everything, you can say, you know, you're now opening Xbox to even more players, you know, and you're still making money off of them.
Yeah.
And
Which I know there's speculation of YouTube doing that type of thing, where you could pay $2 a month or whatever and not get ads, like to a specific channel.
There's a free way to do it. It's called ad block.
Hey, don't do ad block. It hurts me.
Yeah.
Or you just turn off ad block for the people that make good content that you want to support.
Yeah. Well,
like Ducain! He's a cool dude!
Yay!
No, and that's what on the YouTube thing. That's what they were kind of saying. Like, you pay subscription for that channel that you want. It's like $2 or something, and you won't get ads, and you'll get some extra stuff or whatever with it. But I don't know. I think this was just like speculation, or they're thinking about it.
Oh gosh, our Skype chat just got really interesting. Bioman asks, do you think we'll see more MMO type games with more servers, not including Destiny?
I don't,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I know Defiance, came out, and I think it's not extremely popular, but it's still, I think, went over well and stuff. And so that's an MMO, and it was free to play MMO. It's not where you had to pay a monthly subscription, upon your gold yearly. So I think it, possibly bring out more, especially with the power of the Xbox One. So I would buy. I love MMOs, but I don't want to pay monthly. So
yeah, me too.
What if there was an MMO that you didn't have to pay monthly, but you had to use the Kinect to play it?
Like just the Kinect, or
it depends on what kind of
is it like
integration?
Fable the Journey Connect, or like Mass Effect Connect, or Halo Anniversary Connect?
Like Kinect
Dance Central MMO.
That's what I was. Yep.
You just walk
I
around,
totally buy that.
challenge someone to dance.
Yeah. Instead of clans, you got your dance troupe. You got your troops.
That would be hilarious, but awesome.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so I think I got
Drum
a question.
too.
I think I got one question from everyone that asked one. So thank you guys for tuning in. And we've been here for a little over 3 hours, so we definitely appreciate you guys sticking it out. That came on the live stream. I think we peaked out at about 30 or so we definitely got a decent crowd going. And we maintained up to around 16, 17 throughout the rest of the night, so good job to you guys. Thanks for hanging in there, especially on this special podcast that we kind of pulled together last minute. I gotta thank everyone who came out to be on the show tonight. I don't think I can list them all off, but I'll list all the ones that I can remember. Lady Luck from Gamer Tag Radio was on here. Kete from The Running Riot was on here. Sal or HaloFanForLife. The Texorcist from Griffball Hub, along with Goosechecka and Cal, also from Griffball Hub. Molten Slowa is currently on here still. Justin Bryce from Drunken Halo. CMNeir from Halo 3 and Halo 4 Tricks. Then all the Ready Up crew, which would be Ducain 23, Drax, Micky, blueamcat, and Chewy.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nak3d Eli from Nak3d Halo over on YouTube. And I believe that covers everyone that invited tonight. So major shout outs to you guys. Definitely appreciate you all coming back to come and just talk about everything that we saw in the Xbox reveal today. Lots of good stuff coming out, I believe, even though there does seem to be a general kind of negativity to the whole release of the Xbox One. Someone actually put in the chat that Microsoft stock is down.
Yeah, that's not a news story, though.
That's kind of... well, I mean, it says a lot about their presentation.
Well, I meant that more as a joke, more as when was the last time it was up. But how far did it drop? How far did it drop, though? Does anyone know?
66%.
That is quite the drop.
No. It's not 66.
0.66%. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I was about to say, this thing will never...
0.66. 0.66.
0.23 points. And
okay.
0.66%. I'm sorry. It is late. I forgot how to read.
I'm like 66%? Holy crap. How are they still a company?
I didn't think it was that bad.
It's also worth mentioning that Sony stock went up 9 points today.
Whoa.
They're up 9.25.
But that's because they're having some conference tomorrow, whether they should separate the two branches of Sony, like Sony Entertainment and then Sony.
Oh, I heard about this a while ago. Yeah. Yeah, they're splitting off some of the branches. I remember hearing about that.
Trimming the tree.
Interesting. I did not hear that.
So, thank you guys for everyone on the stream that tuned in live to us. Really appreciate you guys coming out and showing your support. Thank you everyone that came and talked with us on the stream. I think we had a total of about 18 or 19 different people actually on here. Not all at once, but still a good plethora of community members to really talk to and dive into this Xbox reveal. So hopefully you guys got some good information out of it. Hopefully our discussions didn't bore you too much, and hope you really enjoyed what you had to hear. I think we were very excited for the Halo TV series. We definitely jumped into that pretty early on, and we covered most of the stuff that we knew about the hardware from the console and then the other games that are coming out that have been announced so far. They will be showing off a lot more information coming E3, which is in now 18 days for me. So E3 is 3 weeks around the corner. Not too far off. We'll see a lot more in terms of games for the new console coming out then. But this was just to reveal their new console, which I think the presentation went very, very well compared to some of their last presentations that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to forgo the outro bit because we've been at this for a while, but follow us on all of our social networks. Tune into our game nights, and we will be having our regularly scheduled podcast on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, where you can come and watch us on live stream, just like you did tonight if you were on the live stream for that. That will not be 3 hours. That will more likely be an hour-long podcast, so you won't have to worry about being dragged through 3 hours worth of content.
So I don't think we're punishing anybody, man.
Well, some people don't like the incredibly long podcast. Our survey kind of indicates that they like it an hour to an hour and a half long. So
it's an honor to hear Duststorm's voice. You will like it. You will love it.
Thank you, Slowa. All right. With that said, good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys on Thursday. Peace.
Yeah.
I'm Brent.